is presented by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by Northland Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. Tonight from Fenway Park, it's Game 6 of the season series between the Twins and the Red Sox, and the first 5 games have been very interesting. Twins have played their best baseball against the Boston Red Sox, and tonight they welcome back their slugger, Miguel Sano, who's been absent from the team since the middle of June. He hopes to have an immediate impact in the middle of this Twins lineup. Beautiful night for baseball at Fenway Park. Dick Raymer and Torrey Hunter for the 6th game of the season series, 3rd game of this 4-game series, and it'll be nice to have Miguel Sano back in the middle of the lineup.
I'm excited to have him back in the lineup. This guy has tremendous amount of pop. He went down to the minor leagues and worked on some things, man. He lost 20 pounds. He worked on that slider. You know, he's been swinging at the slider a lot, but he's healthy. He went down there and worked on some things, worked on his body, had a good hitting coach, and I definitely think that this guy's going to come back and give a surge for the Twins.
We expect another good ball game here tonight. One team appears to be headed to the playoffs, the other team apparently not. But these games have had a playoff feel to them. The 3 at Target Field and the first 2 here at Fenway Park. We expect another good one coming up tonight. Game tomorrow, then the Twins return home for a week. It's always fun to be here. This is an interesting ballpark to watch a game in, and I would imagine an interesting ballpark to play in.
Oh yeah, man, you gotta love playing in this place, man. It's so electrifying. I've been saying that the last couple of games, and these fans, they stand up, they know every situation, and you gotta love it. I know Derek Shelton, it's his first time being a manager in the major leagues. He's been a hitting coach in Tampa, but this is a different situation.
Paul Molitor in Cooperstown for Jack Morris's and Alan Trammell's induction into the Hall of Fame. The Menards batting order for the Twins: Joe Mauer at first, and in the first spot of the batting order, Eddie Rosario, Jorge Polanco, Brian Dozier, Logan Morrison, Miguel Sano, Robbie Grossman, Mitch Garver, and Jake Cave.
Tonight's starting pitcher stats are brought to you by Home Furniture. Rick Porcello One of my old teammates. Got 21 starts, 12-4. He's leading the starting rotations and wins. Got a 3.93 ERA. Opponents are hitting 253 off of him.
Second start of the year against the Twins. And it'll be Joe Mauer, Eddie Rosario, and Jorge Polanco here in the first inning. Porcello got the win back on June 21st. Final game of the series at Target Field. And Mauer takes strike one.
Porcello is a guy you got to get up in the zone. He has that good two-seam fastball. Slider breaks downward. A good little changeup as well.
Swung on and missed.
Just like Cal Gibson, he's actually been working on a straight fastball and elevating the fastball in the zone to get the guys. So here's his arsenal, two-seamer 29% of the time.
Mauer sharply, a couple of hops skipping to Bogarts at short, one away. Northland Ford defense for the Red Sox. They're good across the board. There's not a weak spot on this team, and they're pretty good out in the field as well. Jackie Bradley Jr. is in center. Andrew Benintendi is in left. Mookie Betts is in right. Devers, Bogarts, Nunez, and Moreland, the infielders, and Sandy Leon back behind the plate. One down, and now Eddie Rosario got an awfully big hit for the Twins. A two-run double against Craig Kimbrell in the ninth, and the Twins very briefly had a ninth inning lead last night. Swung on and fouled at the plate, one strike.
Porcello is more of a pitch to contact type pitcher. He's not a big strikeout guy. Today I could see the Twins hitting the ball. Hopefully we can get some base hits and get lucky. You got to create your own luck sometime. Put yourself in a good position.
Out in front of the changeup, and it's two strikes.
It's an Ephus pitch. That thing just dropped off the table.
Last night's starter Chris Sale, if you don't allow him to strike out 10, well, then you've done a pretty good job. He got 10 strikeouts last night. Porcello in all his starts this year has never struck out 10. So yeah, to your point, he's more of a pitch to contact guy, but still one of the best in the business. Rosario taps it up the line. That is a foul ball. Fielded behind the bag by Moreland, and Dave Eddings, the first base umpire, said no, that's foul ball. So Rosario's at bat, still alive.
Rosario did a great job of trying to stay alive right there. He threw an Ephus pitch earlier and tried to strike him out with that.
Two strikes to the Twins left fielder. Jammed him on a dribbler. This is going to be a tough play perhaps. And Porcello covering the bag nicely takes the flip from Moreland, 2 away.
He got into Rosario's grill right there. It's more of a fastball up and in. I told you he was throwing more of the straight fastball up in the zone. And he was jamming him right there.
A couple of ground ball outs, 2 down, and now Polanco.
I remember in 2007, Porcello was just getting called up. He was 19 years old maybe, and this guy was filthy. He was throwing 95, 96 with a sinker. The ball was going everywhere, and I always thought he had good stuff, and he was going to pitch a long time.
Getting to the point now where he's almost pitched as long for the Red Sox as he did for the Tigers.
Yeah.
1 strike to Polanco.
This is your new and improved and more mature Porcello.
9 pitches, 8 strikes for Porcello, 1-1 to Polanco. And Porcello way over on the first base side of the rubber. Strike call, 1-2. 73 miles per hour. I've seen a couple of those very slow breaking balls.
Yeah, most pitchers usually don't show everything right away. They usually bring that pitch out later on, and he's showing that earlier. He must be holding on to that changeup for later.
And now down and in, 2-2. Polanco just 1 for 6 against Porcello, hoping to get Dozier to the plate here in the first inning. Got the inside corner. All third strike. And Porcello enjoys a 1-2-3 first inning. In his first year managing the Red Sox, former bench coach for the Astros.
Had a good conversation earlier during batting practice.
And you can see what they've done at home. 35-14. Here's the Menards batting order for Boston. Looking very similar to what we've seen in the first two games. Mookie Betts, Andrew Benintendi, J.D. Martinez, Mitch Moreland, Xander Bogaerts, Rafael Devers, Eduardo Nunez, Sandy Leon, and Jackie Bradley Jr.
Tonight's starting pitcher stats are brought to you by Home Furniture. Got Jake Odorizzi starting. The starts are 21, 4-6, ERA 4.37.
Pitches up to Betts, who finished the ball game last night with his solo home run in the 10th inning against Matt Belisle. Betts, Benintendi, and Martinez in the Boston first. To center and deep. Cave is back and making the catch.
We got a guy
deep
there.
Warning track.
We got a guy there.
About 410 feet from home plate. A long out, one down. Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Cave told me before the game today, loves playing out there. It was a big thrill to be out in center field at Fenway Park, and he starts the ball game there. Grossman in right, Rosario in left. Max Kepler not in the starting lineup. More on that later. Sano, Polanco, Dozier, Bauer, and Garver, the infielders. With Sano back at third base, and he is a leaner Miguel Sano than the one that was dispatched to Fort Myers. Dropped about 20 pounds. Looks to be in much better shape. Outside 2-0.
I had a conversation with Rosario in the clubhouse, and I said, man, good job. You hit the ball to left center off the wall, got a big hit. And he said, but I'm a better third baseman than Miggy.
Turned in a good play last night, didn't he?
That's all he cared about. He didn't care about the double, anything like that, a big hit. He said, I'm a better third baseman than Miggy.
3-0 to Benintendi. And a strike, 3-1. Odorizzi's pretty familiar to most of the Red Sox hitters. Of course, he was with the Tampa Bay Rays in the same division as the Boston Red Sox, the American League East. Popped up, a foul ball that will reach the seats, 3-2. And Odorizzi, as you might expect, hasn't had the greatest success against the Boston Red Sox. 1-2 mark with an ERA of just under 6 in 3 starts. 4 starts, I should say. Chopper, and that's between Dozier and Polanco. It looked like they were both looking at each other, thinking that one or the other might have a play, but neither did.
Yeah, it was one of those in-between plays. Either one of those guys could have got it, but they're looking at each other. Stalled a little bit. Didn't want to run into each other. It looked like they had a chance, but he's like, "You get it." No, you get it. Seep through the hole.
Here's J.D. Martinez. Martinez leading both leagues in home runs and runs batted in. Chopped up the line, and now Sano's going to have a tough play, barehanding it. And not much he could do about it. He made the play, but Martinez beats out an infield hit, first and second, one away. Sano amazes most people with his ability to make that play. As big as he still is, he's remarkably agile and has maybe the strongest arm I've seen in a third baseman.
It's a little cutter. J.D. Martinez getting it off the end of the bat. And Miguel Sano is playing really deep. He got there. That's a very athletic young man right there, and still made a strong throw across the diamond. Man, I can tell you what, if he played football, he'd be a great DN for Notre Dame.
Well, now why Notre Dame?
I don't know.
Torrey Jr. went there, was a great wide receiver. Mitch Moreland, the batter, in the lineup for the first time. He's had a cranky knee, but now he comes up with 2 on and only 1 out. Side ball 1. Steve Pierce has been playing first base in the first 2 games of this series.
I had a chance to face Jake Odorizzi when he was with Tampa. He first got called up, and we faced him, and I could never make great contact off his pitches. Just like that, you foul him off your ankle and off the end of the bat because he has so much movement in and out of the zone, in and out and into the zone. He changes speeds well. He has a sneaky fastball that if he throws it up, he just keeps you off balance, and you can never really square the ball up like you want to.
He's kept Moreland off balance, just 1 hit and 12 at bats. And the count's 1-1 here in the first inning. 2-1. So Lance Lynn last night throw a very high percentage of strikes. We saw it from Porcello in the top half of this inning. And Odorizzi with a dozen pitches, only 6 strikes. And a couple of men on base with 1 out.
I think he's leading the league in pitches per inning, right?
3-1.
You're the stat guy. You're supposed to know that.
He's among the leaders. And that's one of the reasons why with 21 starts, he's only thrown 107 innings. It's been right around 5 innings per start.
You know, one of the reasons why it's like that because he doesn't really just blow guys away. He has to manipulate and keep you off balance, so he has to play chess.
Deep to the right field line, but foul. To the good side of the pesky pole.
Yep, that's a long strike. But it scared me a little bit.
Giving up a couple of ground ball hits here in the first inning. The 1 out has been on a fly ball. Mostly cloudy skies here. Beautiful setting for a ball game on a Saturday night. Odorizzi's gotten just 7 ground ball double plays this year. More of a fly ball pitcher. Gets a lot of his outs on high fastballs at the high end of the strike zone or just an inch or 2 above that. And now Garver and Odorizzi will have a brief chat. Eric Shelton, his team can pick up a win here, and if they can do so, and end up winning the season series against the best team in baseball. Right now the Twins have the edge 3-2.
Mitch Moreland, he really likes to hit the ball the other way. Sometimes you just have to stay tight on him.
And flip foul.
Oh. I keep forgetting I'm on the air. That's scary. So every time someone almost get hit or big double. I said, ooh, ah, oh.
You probably did that as a player. It's just you didn't have a microphone on.
It's true.
3-2 to Moreland.
No bad words, though.
Base hit right field. Grossman charges in deep right field. The throw will come to Mauer, the cutoff man, and the Red Sox take a 1-0 lead. Good at bat for Moreland. Third straight hit for the Red Sox.
He kind of threw maybe a two-seamer or changeup, and he left it up, and Mitch was trying to go the other way. And when you throw, you're trying to go the other way. Off speed is the bat speed that you want. And he was able to hit that ball in the right center gap and stay on it pretty well. So definitely a changeup. So I knew his mindset was to hit off that green monster.
Here's Bogaerts. About 5.5 weeks ago, Odorizzi had a really short start against the Texas Rangers. He lasted just an inning and 2/3 and gave up 6 earned runs. Since then, in the 5 starts prior to tonight, 27 1/3 innings, 8 earned runs, an ERA of 2.63. Yet the Red Sox have touched him for a quick run, at least one here in the first inning. And a strike, 1-1.
This will be a good time for a double play. Try to get out of this inning with minimal damage.
Chopped foul, 1-2. Twins have been playing the Red Sox since 1961, of course. Twins have won a couple of World Series. Red Sox have won 3. Both teams have had some ebbs and flows. That still is remarkable that here we are on July 28th, 2018. And the record is even at 311 wins apiece. And the Twins with the edge, 3-2 so far this year. 1-2. Foul. You look at what has gone on here. Just look at the bottom line. The Twins in 5 games against the best lineup in baseball, and it's not frankly that close. Yankees are good, the Astros are good, but the Red Sox have been the best, and the Twins have pitched them really tough in the first 5 games. Yeah. 1-2 to Bogaerts. High and deep to center, and Cave back on the warning track again, almost where he made the catch for the first out. And he gets it back into Polanco, first and third now, 2 away. It gets even better on the pitching side for the Twins with their starting pitching. A 2-1 mark in the 5 games. Look at the ERA, 1.72.
Wow, these guys have been pitching pretty well.
Gibson a couple of times. Lynn last night. Barrios. Lynn was really good last night. Gave up a couple of runs over 6 innings.
I talked to him last night in the lobby, and he said that all he did was move to the right of the rubber, and his slider was biting a little more.
There's a bunt.
Oh my God.
And Odorizzi throws to first. No chance for the runner at third to score. And Odorizzi thought he might have had a chance at Devers, even though the ball might have rolled foul. It's an infield hit, and they're loaded up now.
That was a great bunt.
Given where the pitch was.
Yeah, maybe it was accidental, but it was a great bunt. It turned out really well. I think he might have, if he would just let that go foul, probably had a better chance for it to go foul, right? It looked like it was tailing to the left a little bit and going foul.
Pretty good play by Mauer there to pick up that low throw with the runner at third. So they're loaded up, 2 down, and now Eduardo Nunez will bat. Nunez with a double off the monster in the ball game last night, and then he scored on the home run by Bradley. 7th man for Odorizzi to have to pitch to here in this first inning.
Nunez crushes fastballs. He can stay away from the fastball, middle in. Throw that cutter, change up, keep it away. Got a better chance of getting him out.
4 singles for the Red Sox here in the first. So far, just 1 run on the board. Right down the middle.
Now that was outside. That's a good pitch. That's where you want to stay with Nunez.
One strike to Nunez. Mauer with a nice pickup, and Odorizzi to the bag.
Nice.
Good play by Joe Mauer. The Red Sox get 4 hits, just 1 run in the first inning. Hit the runner Devers. That high hop. Devers did a nice job. Had he been hit by the ground ball, of course, that would have been the end of an inning, But Joe was able to make a really tough fielding play given the fact he was screened.
Joe is really good over there.
Brian Dozier to lead off the second inning. Twins down a run, and it's 1-0. Dozier, Morrison, and Sano here in the Twins' second inning. Check swing and a strike. Dozier's had a tough time against Porcello. He's hit 3 home runs against him, but a sub .200 batting average. Rounded to third. And Devers across, 1 away.
Porcello is a guy that, like I said, pitched to contact, but a lot of guys are not really getting the ball in the air off him because he has that sinker and this downward slider and the curveball that goes down. He keeps the ball down well. You just got to get him up and go after all the pitches that are up. The ones that are down, you're in trouble.
1 down, and now Logan Morrison, the designated hitter. Dozen home runs for Morrison, but Morrison with a sub .200 batting average on the season, just hitting .193. And at his current rate, he'll end up with about half as many home runs as he hit last year when he hit 38.
A lot of that could be from a late start in spring training. He's trying to play catch up.
Up and in, and it's 1-1.
I think the same thing happened with Lance Lynn. Getting picked up late in spring training. Logan got picked up a little late in spring training, and these guys are trying to get in shape when the other guys are already in shape. And so you're playing catch up.
Help me resolve that then, because I've been talking to players for a long time about spring training, and almost to a man they say, well, it's too long. We don't need 6 weeks of spring training. And now it's not just your opinion, it's kind of the consensus that these guys that showed up late missed that time early in spring training and were behind when the season started.
Spring training, you need a little time. You know, as far as position players, we don't need that much time. Pitchers really need that time to build up, you know, that 3-inning start. Then they get 4 and then 5 and try to lengthen themselves out. So those 6 weeks you really need, and it's for the pitchers. So you don't want your guys injured and tired. Oh,
that's
nice.
hit a long way to right, and that may go over the pole. A home run for Logan Morrison to tie the game at 1, number 13, and that ball was hit a long way.
He crushed that. That guy has a lot of power. He's a big individual. They really get that bat going, and with Sano hitting behind him, I think he's going to get a lot more pitches. Here's a fastball. He got up. That's what you're looking for, and he was able to golf that out of the ballpark.
So it's tied at 1, and now Miguel Sano. First big league at bat in about 6 weeks, and he takes down and away ball 1. So as we move forward now, without Escobar, without Presley, and without whoever else the Twins might trade, remember these numbers: 203, 727. Ground ball hit to third. And what the Twins are hoping to see from Sano is much higher batting average, more consistent power, being more of a run producer. The ground ball to third, 2 away now in the second.
Yeah, I think he went down to the minor leagues to work on his mind, you know, and he lost 20 pounds. It's going to feel lighter. It's going to be healthier for his legs. And also the slider down and away, just to get that thing up and attack the ones that are up. The slider down and away is hard to hit that, and I think that's his kryptonite.
Here's Robbie Grossman. That's deep down the left field line, but that's got some twist on it, and it's foul. Well, again, we'll see how it plays out, but with Sano, the slider down and away, and so many check swing strikes where the pitch recognition was so late that he couldn't take the ones that weren't strikes. And you know, it's a work in progress until, you know, he proves otherwise.
You know, when I was younger, I've swung at a lot of sliders in the dirt.
Right.
And Rod Carew in 2001 or 2, he came down to spring training and made me go to the cage, and he threw me 1,000 sliders, and he just kept throwing it. He said, look for the dot in the ball and make sure it's up in the air. A good slider you won't hit. The ones that are on the highlights on TV at night, on MLB Network, whatever it may be, those are hanging sliders. Those sliders are up. The ones that are down, there's a ground balls and you're out. And that's what I think Sano needs to work on. Just get that slider up a little bit and see it up and swing at those. You'll have a little more success.
Logan Morrison's 13th home run of the year ties the game at 1.
Yesterday was really tough. It was a punch in the gut, but now the team has to use that as motivation to prove everybody else wrong, that even though they look like they're sellers, they shouldn't count this team out quite yet. Max Kapler is out of the lineup today as a precaution after slamming into the wall last night. There is no injury. He's just sore, but they said he could still be used later in the game if needed. And with Derek Shelton filling in for Paul Molitor, Jeff Pickler will handle the phone duties on replay challenges, and Rudy Hernandez moves into the dugout tonight. Shelton joked around that if Willians Astudillo was still here with his team, he'd probably get that role because he did just about everything else for the team. Why not give him the chance to be the manager, guys?
Rare for Max to not be in the starting lineup. I asked Derek Shelton today because if, let's say the Twins win tonight and tomorrow, the wins go on Paul Molitor's managerial record. And so I thought by extension then, if Shelton gets ejected from the game and fined, that Molitor should have to pay the fine then too.
Oh, that would be a good setup.
Derek said he was going to check into that, even though Paul is probably busier in Cooperstown, too busy to be too engaged with Derek. That's the whole point of taking the time off.
Molly would be very upset. He would give him a good whispering.
The count to Sandy Leon is 1-2. Then Jackie Bradley Jr. and Mookie Betts. Paul excused from managerial duties tonight and tomorrow, so we can go to Cooperstown and watch Jack Morris's and Alan Trammell's induction. Of course, Paul was inducted into the Hall of Fame years ago. 1-2 to Leon. Former Twin Jim Thome will be inducted tomorrow as well. And his daughter Lila is going to sing the national anthem before the induction ceremonies, as if the moment, the day won't be emotional enough for Big Jim. How about that?
Man, that's going to be awesome, man.
Little chip shot down the line, and a foul ball by inches. Twins shifting Leon, and that looked a lot like Lucas Duda's little 2-run single, pop fly single that he hit to get this road trip started, but that one inches foul.
And the fans touched it.
Yep. So the count remains 2-2 to Leon.
You know, you were talking about Jim Thome. This guy is one of the nicest guys in the game. I think every team he's went to, every enemy that he's played against, they love him. He's like your frenemy. And you know, I'm excited to have played against him. Honored to have played against him. This guy's going in the Hall of Fame. That's someone I really like as a person and as a player. So congratulations, Big Jim Bob.
Foul back. I can't speak, of course, to the first 23 years of Twins baseball, but I think I can speak in about the last 35 because of what I've been doing for a living. There's been no one in such a short period of time. Jim Thome played for the Twins for what, a year and a half?
Yeah.
There's been nobody that so quickly became a fan favorite and is still revered by the fan base as Jim Thome.
Right. No one. No one comes in, maybe Shannon Stewart, but no one comes in a year and a half and have the impact that he has. He's such a great guy, just a great all-around player, great all-around person, and we love him.
Leon battling Odorizzi, who had a long time of it in the first inning anyway, and now his first at bat of the second is being stretched out with all these 2-strike fouls. Oh, a fly ball to short right field, and Grossman comes in to make the catch one away. Pretty big class. Vladimir Guerrero played with him with the Angels, right?
Yeah, he was my teammate 3 years. He's one of the players, man, I played with that's going in the Hall of Fame. I've never played with a player that went in the Hall of Fame.
Trevor Hoffman, the all-time saves leader before Mariano Rivera passed him. Chipper Jones, one of the best switch hitters of all time. And of course, I'm happy for Jack and for Jim, but really for Alan Trammell, who was kind of the gold standard for shortstops for a good part of his career. Just, and Jack would tell you too, because they were teammates so long, he was kind of the anchor, the nucleus of some really good Tiger teams. The ball was hit over there, it was an out. Real steady player. 2 strikes to Jackie Bradley Jr.
You talk about Jim Thome. I don't know if you remember Rick Reed.
Yes.
When he came over from the Mets, Rick Reed gave up, what, 11 home runs to Jim Thome?
I think 9.
9
in 1 year.
9 home runs to one guy. And I'm like, stop pitching to him. He said, Torre, I'm just going to keep throwing the ball down the middle until he missed one. No, we're losing.
But he hit him. Thome hit him right field, center field, left field against Rick Reed. It was remarkable.
I've never seen that before. I've never seen anybody own somebody so bad.
2 down in the second, and now Mookie Betts hit the deep fly ball to center that was hauled in by Cave, and now Odorizzi gets ahead of him, 0-1. And breaking ball, strike 2. It's kind of hard to quarrel, I think, with what Odorizzi's given the Twins in his first year. His ERA is fine. I mean, he was brought over to be a 3rd, 4th starting pitcher in a rotation, and he only has 4 wins. And the Twins would like to get 6 innings from him rather than 5, but the ERA, it's not outlandish. The Twins have seen Barrios kind of take the lead in terms of the Twins rotation. Gibson behind him. Pulled foul. Lance Lynn is improving, it seems, in the rotation.
You would think that Lance Lynn, you know, other teams will probably want him as well, you would think. This guy is a veteran guy, he's been in the postseason.
1-2. Down and away, 2-2.
Jake is a guy you can just, you know, see how he feels, but he's used to throwing a lot of pitches.
Dribbled out in front of the plate, and Garver has plenty of time, makes the play, and Odorizzi has a 1-2-3 second inning. John's University night at Target Field. A limited number of St. Ben's and St. John's theme night ticket packages are available that include a game ticket and a white and red Twins cap. You can learn more at twinsbaseball.com/CSBSJU or call 800-33-TWIN. And Mitch Garver will lead things off here in the 3rd for the Twins. And first pitch fastball, strike 1. Garver, Cave, and Mauer in a tie ball game. Tying it up on Morrison's 1-out home run. Swung on and fouled back, 2 strikes. Torrey Hunter's really nervous here as he expressed the concern that he was going to have to be interviewing his boss here shortly. Derek Falvey, the chief baseball officer, is going to join us here momentarily.
Hey, buddy.
So Derek, put Torrey at ease because he's concerned about how things are going to go here and the fact that you're his boss.
Torrey seems often at ease, so I think we're okay there.
Hey, I'm nervous about this question I'm about to ask you.
All right.
Mighty Mouse, you took his cape. You traded Mighty Mouse, my favorite guy.
I know it's a tough moment for all of us in the organization. So Eduardo Escobar has been somebody who has really meant a lot to this franchise and will continue to. I don't think that changes, but I think clearly an opportunity we felt like to help this organization moving forward. And that's something that's never easy, always a challenge, but something that we felt like at this moment in time was the right decision for us to add some real talent to our system to help us build toward championship future.
What were the factors involved in coming to the conclusion that it probably wasn't going to work out in 2018, and let's think long term rather than short term?
Well, I think you always balance the short term and the long term in everything we do. I think that we have to keep an eye on the future while working in the present. That's our job. Now, the players on the field, they need to keep an eye on the present. They need to focus on today's game. But ultimately, we haven't put ourselves in a position to this point to be in a great spot around, at least the standings. And we get that. That's just part of where we are. But I would say that doesn't preclude us from these guys going out every night and fighting and continuing to move things forward. This was just an opportunity to really invest in our future and feel like we really did that, and that's a testament to what Eduardo has done.
One thing about this trade, though, you guys love Escobar so much that you put him in a position that he can have experience in the postseason. He's a game and a half back of the Dodgers. You put him in a position to help him, and also you guys got something back as well.
No question. I think most players, as you know, Torrey, they want to have that opportunity to fight for the postseason. That's not something that we are giving up on. Our guys will continue to fight, but in this particular situation, it put him in a better position with respect to standing, no question. And I hope he understands that. We talked to him at length about that. He's a free agent this coming off season, and that doesn't preclude any additional conversations for us in the future. So I think that's just this moment in time, the trade deadline is a day when you have to make decisions, and unfortunately we had to make this one now.
How do you establish what your target is in terms of the return? And I'm sure fans were noting yesterday when they saw the return for both Ryan Presley and Eduardo Escobar. 5 prospects, 4 of them coming out of Class A ball, 1 of them as far as Double A, in terms of looking long term again as opposed to players who might help as soon as next year.
I think the way we approach each of these decisions is to find a way.
The ball will die into center field, a base hit for Cave.
Is to always find a way to add as much talent to our system as possible. I've talked in the past about adding waves of talent to our major league future. If we're going to be sustainable in terms of sustaining a winning championship-seeking team, we need to find ways to have talent at all levels, and we're looking for the best return. If we focus ourselves just on AAA or AAA and AA, we may miss out on an opportunity to add a player that's going to have significant impact down the line and help our team. We're just trying to make the best decisions possible to build the organization as strong as possible to give ourselves the best chance to win.
So based on what your answer was there, I know in the financial world sometimes they talk about laddering. You want a constant progression year to year to year of an influx of talent, and that was apparently one of the considerations here.
Well, it is for sure, and not necessarily that we targeted a lower level of player. It just felt like in the conversations that we had in these 2 particular trades that the best talent we could access were the players we got back, and they happened to be some at the lower levels and ultimately one at AA.
Down and in, a ball to Mauer. Twins trying to take the lead here in the 3rd inning. Now you and the other 29 people who are your peers with the other major league clubs, there really is a trade war going on. Not the kind we read about in the newspapers, but there's constant contact, I know, between you and some of the other contending teams and everybody else in baseball. How active can you imagine the Twins might be here in the remaining days?
Well, I think I looked the other day, and we just quickly took stock of this. I think 80% of the trades normally go down in the last 3 to 4 days.
Okay.
Over the last few seasons. Now, I do think so far this season we've seen maybe an acceleration of that to some degree.
Right.
So I don't know that number will be quite that high this year, but I do think there will continue to be conversations, as whether it's in the business world, as you just referenced, or in baseball. Deadlines drive decisions, and that's part of the process, and we have to be open-minded for the remainder of this period to make sure that we're adding the right kind of talent to our system to ultimately build the type of team that we want to compete year in and year out.
Cave's a threat to steal, and Porcello knows that, so he's keeping an eye on him. He hasn't tried a big league stolen base attempt yet, but Cave's got really good leg speed. Mauer now with a 2-1 count. See if the Twins send Cave in motion, either with a stolen base or a hit and run.
Yeah, I definitely think that you guys are building towards the future. Just kind of build the organization up, and you guys got some great candidates back. You got two right-handed pitchers and a couple outfielders you can kind of move around. They're very athletic and can swing the bat a little bit, and I definitely think that you guys worked out just fine.
Well, I think, Tori, what you're talking about there in terms of talent, when we think about Jorge Alcala, to start with him, the Double-A pitcher we got back, it's a guy, big 6'5", right-handed pitcher, sits somewhere between 95 and 100 most of his starts. It's a developing slider, and like most guys at that level, still need refinement. Still need to finish off their pitches. But if he does, he has true top of the order, top of the rotation potential, and if he ends up in the bullpen, it's really elite back end stuff there too. So we feel like in that trade right there, just one of the guys that's a little bit closer to the big leagues, he really has a chance to impact us. And as you know, with pitching, it can come quickly.
Yeah.
As soon as they start to develop and really refine their command, I've seen guys go from Double-A to the big leagues, or Double-A with a shortstop in Triple-A to get there. So we're excited about the return.
I think people don't really realize, that you are a pitcher in college, and you have this.
Not a good one.
But you do have a love for the mechanics of pitching, just everything around pitching. You have a love for it, a passion for it, and every time I talk to you, it's like your eyes just light up about talking about pitching. And
great at bat for Mauer, and a line drive single to right field, and Cave scampers past second base and then scampers even quicker back to it.
And why is it such a love? I hear this burning desire about pitching. What is it?
I think we're all passionate about baseball. We work in this game. I feel incredibly fortunate and lucky to work every day in baseball, and that's something that I think I never want to forget. But for me, baseball, growing up and enjoying it and building a passion for it as a young kid, not far from here actually, it was something that it was instilled in me early, and pitching became a bit of a passion. But I think that we have the ability as a system here to really build out our pitching group to have different types of pitchers. There's going to be guys who are high strikeout, high velocity guys, some guys that pitch a little more at contact, but there's a lot of options with respect to pitching, and I believe with pitching and good defense and quality baseball, that's the type of team that's going to be able to be successful in the long term.
I know that last year when you first took over, you were made very well aware of, maybe you were even aware of it when you were with the Cleveland Indians, but the Twins were kind of late to the party when it came to power arms. Ball bounced foul up the first base line. And in the moves you made last year and the moves you made this winter and the moves made yesterday, it almost seems like you're trying to catch up in that category. Does that make any sense? I mean, the Twins were maybe the last team to the party when it came to having guys throwing 95 to 98 out of the pen and having power arms in the rotation as well.
Yeah, I think we're always looking for an edge. We're always looking for an opportunity to find impact guys. There are some guys that pitch with an incredible amount of guile and can really figure out how to attack hitters. But sometimes that power coming out of the bullpen or a power starter could really have effect and impact. Tori could speak to that better than I can. But I would say that for us, we're trying to find a mix of different types of arms, and then we're trying to grow them even more so. So even if a guy's 90 to 92 right now, and we think that with good programming and good nutrition and good strength and conditioning work and good off seasons, we can build beyond that.
Rosario strikes out. Big strikeout for Porcello. 2 aboard, 2 down, and now Polanco will bat. I don't envy you guys, you and Thad Levine and your counterparts of the other teams, because, you know, as a fan, and I know you're a fan, in addition to being the chief baseball officer, you can't help but be emotionally attached to players. But your job is to divorce yourself, if you will, from your emotions and make good business decisions that at times might almost seem cold-hearted, and that has to be a difficult thing to do.
Incredibly difficult. I value so much the relationships with our people and our staff and our players, and this is, you know, a business, and we're building toward a winning environment and a winning culture and a winning team, and to do that, you have to invest in your people. And you know, for Eduardo Escobar and Ryan Presley, and I could even go back to other decisions we've had to make with taking a guy off a roster, you know, maybe less significant than a trade deadline move, but you know, designating someone off the roster. If you don't feel that personally, I think it's time to get out of the game ultimately. And I feel a deep connection to these players, to what we're trying to do.
Oh, nice.
Drive to the gap in right center field, and it's going to head to the triangle. Cave will score. Bauer around third, he'll score. Polanco flying to third base with a 2-run stand-up triple.
Very nice swing right there.
A big 2-out hit for Polanco, and the Twins take a 3-1 lead.
I think Jorge's been someone who, you know, since we've gotten him back, has really impacted us in so many ways. And I think it was maybe lost on us a bit, just the quality of his at-bat and what he's been able to do. And since he's been back in our lineup, the spark that he's provided.
Yeah, I mean, this guy mentally is, you know, he's powerful. He's strong. I mean, of course, he's 80 games out. He's trying to catch up, play catch up. I was talking about that earlier. But his mentality is to go out there and battle and win. You can see it at the plate. You can see it in the field. He loves the game of baseball.
Twins getting a big 2-out hit, and now Dozier turns away, ball 1.
You know, one thing about Derek and Thad, you know, I just want to say this, that, you know, me playing 19 years of Major League Baseball, being on the field and you know, grinding and on the field, when I came into the front office, you guys are showing me different things and putting me in the draft room and let me be a part of the vetting process of different players or staff. I mean, I've learned a lot just being up in the front office. Didn't know that all this was going on behind the scenes. I just knew what was going on the field and how to make adjustments and how to play the game. But there's things beyond the game, you know, that I didn't know about, and you combine the two, and that's why you brought in Morneau, myself, and LaTroy and Kadire, because there's this side of the game and this side of the game, and you do a great job of blending the two.
Well, we value it. I mean, we have to. It's a big part of the conversation. While there are metrics and information that we're going to use to help make us better, the human side of this game is essential to building a good culture.
Dozier with a base hit to center. That's another big 2-out hit. And the Twins take a 4-1 lead. Solid stroke to center from Brian Dozier.
I think where success comes, Tori, is the integration of information and use of information and culture and people who buy in and are part of the process. And I think I've seen that in other organizations, and I've certainly seen it around baseball, you know, more and more these days. But you can't lose touch of the human element of it. And I would say likewise, you know, I get the chance to learn from you about what that is like to go through those moments. I mean, right after we made those trades yesterday, you guys were some of the first people we reached out to and talked to. So it's so important for us to integrate both aspects of the systems and information that we use, but also our culture.
Yeah.
Dana Levangie, the pitching coach, coming to the mound. Dick Bramer along with Torrey Hunter, joined by Chief Baseball Officer Derek Falvey. And you've said you're open to more trade discussions. You are aware that I'm a 5-10 guy. That I have broadcast for 10 years and with more than 5 years with one team. So I think I'm in the clear here.
We'll make sure Dave St. Peter negotiates that with you if we get close on a deal.
5-10
hey,
guy.
I want to ask you about how the news was released yesterday, and I know you and Thad don't feel at all good about how it came down in the Twins clubhouse yesterday.
Yeah, I think that the reality of this, it's incredibly unfortunate, but when rumors leak and certainly media, you know, catches wind of things, we live in a Twitter world now. We live in a rumor world where things just get discussed, and unfortunately for that, it got out early, but immediately we grabbed Eduardo to make sure that he was in a good place.
Derek, thanks for the time, and we'll look forward perhaps to more news coming out of your office.
Thanks, boss.
Thanks, having me.
You sat in here, and the Twins got 3 runs.
All right,
nice going.
Thank you so much.
The best stories start here. And by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world. And here at Fenway Park, a bit of a delay as the fans in attendance, the umpires and players all saluting family members, friends who've been victimized by cancer. Oh, I beg your pardon, the military service, Sergeant Powers there. And the Twins going to the bottom of the 3rd inning, have a 4-1 lead.
Everyone that's on that these cards are definitely true heroes in this country.
Military appreciation night here at Fenway Park.
My dad served.
Oh, did he?
Vietnam.
In what branch?
In the Marine.
Okay.
And you know, he came back with some dark stuff.
Yeah.
And but he's a lot better, and you just never know what these folks are going through, or what they've been through, and what they've seen. They fought for our freedom, so thank you.
Jake Cave started the 3-run 3rd with a 1-out single to center. He had a good at bat, ended up scoring on Polanco's triple. And Jake Odorizzi, who pitched out of a hornet's nest in the 1st inning, he gave up 4 hits in the 1st inning, but only 1 run. And now he's got a 3-run lead to work with here. Benintendi, Martinez, and Moreland will hit in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
It was cool catching up with Derek Falvey, man. He's actually, I didn't, when I first met him, I just didn't know what to expect. I knew he was a front office guy, and I'm coming from the field, and you know, just to have a chance to meet him and talk to him, and I saw that he was human and he has a personality. And Derek, Thad Levine is, oh my God, he's so funny.
Well, here's Benintendi, Martinez, and Moreland will follow, and Odorizzi would love to back up a 1-2-3 2nd inning with another one in the 3rd here. And outside, 1-1. As a player, and I can remember some quotes from you about this time of the year wanting a Alfonso Soriano. Why didn't we get Alfonso Soriano?
Yeah.
You were always looking for an infusion of talent, and you had it go the other way too, where you saw some teammates spun out of the organization because the team wasn't in contention.
Yeah, in the past, you know, I just felt like, man, we're so close. We just need this one guy, a big guy, but we just didn't know what was going on behind the, you know, closed doors and behind the scenes. And we wanted that Soriano. We wanted a big guy. And it just didn't, it never happened in Minnesota at that time.
I think in your time with the Twins, the most significant acquisition in the middle of the season was Shannon Stewart at the All-Star break. You guys couldn't score a run to save your life going into the break, and Shannon Stewart came over, and instantly things were better. Polanco fires on the run on target, and Benintendi's retired one away.
Shannon Stewart came over. He just gave us new life, man. He was stealing bases and getting clutch hits and making diving plays, and he just gave us new life and a new energy. And we like, wow, okay. Everybody just jumped on board, and sometimes you need that spark to get going. Of course, we were either #1 in the division or, you know, not too far away from first place, and we were able to, you know, kind of get to the playoffs again because of Shannon Stewart.
Just seemed to set a model for how to have a good at bat 4 times a game.
My goodness, I mean, he would see like 8 or 9 pitches and a bat, and he battled 3-2 and get a walk or a big base hit, and it was kind of contagious. You know, you see a guy do that, you like, wow, I want to do that.
Fouled back, 2 strikes. Martinez got one of the 4 singles for the Red Sox in the first inning. They scored their run.
Didn't hit it very far. Said earlier, Jake Odorizzi is just tough to make great contact off of.
Half swing, no swing.
Did I see Logan Morrison bunt?
You did, right back to the mound. He had 434 feet in his first at bat. He just tried to bunt and misdirected the bunt. Martinez strikes out, 2 down, and now 6 in a row set down by Odorizzi.
There's a fastball up, and he's chased it. JD Martinez was talking to me earlier today that, you know, a lot of pitchers are throwing him up and trying to get him out upstairs, and he's trying to get on top of that thing. And he was telling me, he gave me a nice little example. The pitch low, he tries to golf out of the park. The pitch high, he tries to stay on top of it.
Little pop up near second base. It is Sano with the catch. Back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings for Jake Odorizzi.
Fenway Park as they went inside the famous left field scoreboard and signed those walls that are covered with signatures. They were also joined by Joe Mauer, who signed the walls way back in his rookie season, but he hasn't been back inside since. So he went into the Green Monster, tried to find his signature with no luck, so he re-signed the walls. Now, I'm on top of the Green Monster. When it comes to this roster, only 2 guys have hit a home run up here. I have my glove. I'm ready to go. I think I like my chances with Miguel Sano back in the lineup and the wind blowing out. I think I might be able to take home a home run ball tonight, but it was Brian Dozier and Joe Mauer, the only 2 so far to hit a home run up here in these famous seats. We'll see if anyone can add to it tonight, guys.
All right, be ready. I saw her play catch with Jean Glynn yesterday. She's a former softball player. I mean, she's pretty athletic, but you know, boy, it looks almost like dodgeball sitting up there in those seats. Sano takes a strike, and it's 2-1.
I've seen some bullets,
yes,
some hard balls hit there, and the fans can't get out the way, and it knocks over their beer, hits them in the chest. Man, be careful.
Pulled foul, and it's 2-2 to Sano, who bounced out to third his first time up.
You ever been over there in the Green Monster?
The very first year that they put those seats up there, however long ago that was, 15 years ago, I went up there to take a look, and I mean, wasn't that long ago, they weren't even there. And I remember the controversy when they decided to put seats up there. And at the time, I likened them to the seats in the upper deck at right field at the Metrodome. You can't see the whole field, but yet they're romanticized here. And they were ridiculed, the seats in the upper deck in right field at the Metrodome, they were ridiculed. And I'm not trying to compare the Metrodome to Fenway Park.
Please don't.
But have you been up there? Have you been up to the monster seats?
I have. I've been up there. Actually, I did it during a football game. I went up there just to see what it was like, and I've never been up there before.
Sano takes a called third strike, 1 away. And that'll bring us to Robbie Grossman. Torrey Hunter, his last game with the Twins, hit his 200th home run with the Twins.
Really? I hit it, my 200 here? Oh, man.
200th with the Twins.
Yeah, but how do you guys get all this footage, man? This is, I mean, you
it's our
caught me off
research
guard.
department. We get, we don't pay these people the amount of money we pay them and not expect to get top flight stuff. And Nunez again kicks one in right field. He made a terrible error in the ball game last night. And now Grossman will reach on a 1-out error here in the 4th.
Yeah, that's a tough play. He's kind of out of position. He's out there in the outfield grass. It's pretty tough. I mean, you're a professional. Of course, you need to catch that. But you see how the ball is hit. It goes to the dirt. Then it bounces again. It's a different skip.
Well, that's.
And it just, that hop just ate him up. It's different when you got that shift like that.
So the Twins get an extra out. They get a base runner, and now Mitch Garver. Takes a strike over the inside corner.
Have you been under the Green Monster?
Yes. I had the family here, and somewhere back there, my kids signed the back of the Green Monster.
I went in 1998, and I signed under there. And I went back, and I hated my autograph because Harmon Killebrew didn't get on me before.
Until afterwards?
And afterwards, he made me change my signature, and I thought that was the right thing to do. And I went back. I couldn't find my signature. It was right. It was terrible. Charles Barkley, terrible. It was bad.
1-1 to Garver. Low breaking ball. That one down to 70 miles per hour. And Garver had no choice but to take it, as it turned out, for a strike. 1-2.
That looked like a softball pitch that I missed for Jenny Finch.
He didn't do too well in that. Did I see video where you fell down swinging at a slow pitch softball pitch?
Yeah, I had bad shoes on, and there was this thick, clear stuff.
There's a drive to right field. Retreating a few steps. Betts makes the catch out number 2. That'll bring up Jake Cave. had a 1-0 lead. Morrison touched him for a home run to tie it. Twins bunched 4 hits together to score 3 runs in the 3rd. And that first hit of that inning, Jake Cave's single, kind of set the stage for what was to follow. The 3 runs were all produced with 2-out hits. Line drive hit right to Bogarts, who had him shifted perfectly. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Twins in front 4-1.
On it though. Then Polanco, big hit, 2-out triple, scoring 2 runs. That was a big clutch hit. And then Dozier coming through with 2 outs, hitting a single up the middle, scoring Polanco. Great swing by Dozier. Polanco right there, one of my favorite guys mentally. He's always ready to go.
Bogarts, Devers, and Nunez will hit against Odorizzi here in the 4th. Jake has set down 7 men in a row. Strike on the outside corner. We talk so often about having an opportunity to put up a big number, a crooked number, if you will, early. And if you don't do that, then sometimes it can cost you at the very end of the ball game. Well, the Twins would like to see that play out here. The Red Sox got the first run, but they had 4 hits, and Odorizzi pitched his tail off, retiring 2 of the last 3 batters after the Red Sox had scored their run to leave the bases full. Here's a pop-up wide of first, and Mauer tracking it near the tarp, and Mauer can't quite get there. A long run, and Joe had it fall just out of his reach.
That was longer than the time in Angel Stadium when he ran down that lane. Yeah, in Anaheim. He ran out there, but that was a long run for him. And that's a long run for Grossman as well. And that was pretty much a no man's land, and Joe almost made something out of that. He had the tarp on his right. He can feel that safety coming.
1-2 to Bogarts.
Great effort.
A fly ball to deep center his first time up. And a pop-up. And Garber has this one spin over the screen and out of play.
You know, the last 2 games, Bogarts has been swinging at that slider like he's been missing it by a lot. I don't know if he's trying to pull balls now, but the slider's been the pitch that's been getting him out the last 2 games. Slider in the dirt, actually.
Popped up. Dozier retreats to the outfield grass, and Cave calls him off, 1 away. 8 in a row set down by Odorizzi.
Center fielder has reign over the second baseman.
Oh, come on now. You're not a center fielder anymore.
You have to
let somebody
Kelly
else catch the ball every now and again.
You have to be Kelly Leak, man. In that situation, you don't want Dozier to go all the way back there backpedaling and drop the ball. He did a great job of protecting Dozier.
Here's Devers. Taking down and away, ball 1.
Devers hit a screamer last night. Line drive that kind of took my man Kepler out of the game.
Well, it was interesting talking to Max and then Derek Shelton too. They said they could see the ball sailing away from Max. They all said he took the right angle to the ball, but at the end, the wind caught it or something, almost like it knuckled on its way out there, and then just darted more towards center field. I didn't notice that either when it was hit live or on replay, but that was kind of the talk of the home run, that Max actually took the right angle and saw the ball veer away from it.
There's kind of a wind tunnel in right center, right field. And whenever you hit a ball and it has so much backspin, if it gets to a point where it's two-seaming, the wind can get into that two-seam and make it wiggle. And that's what happened. I'm a scientist. I know I stayed at the Holiday Inn Select.
You're not. I know exactly which hotel you're staying at. Here's one hit to the gap in right center, and that ball will get over the wall for a double. Devers hit that ball kind of on the same trajectory as the home run last night.
Yeah, of course, it might have been a fastball again. I didn't really quite see it, but it's a fastball down the middle again, and it's a line drive. I'm glad that it bounced over the fence, because if it hits that corner, he can get a triple right there.
Replay brought to you by Jeep.
Fastball way up. He got on top of that pitch and able to drive it over that center field wall.
And now Nunez hit a ground ball to Mauer. Mauer made a really nice play with the runner Devers right in front of him, and that was the 3rd out of the inning and did leave the bases full back in the 1st inning. Now runner at second, 1 down. Up and away, ball 1.
This guy can hit a fastball. I just felt like I had to reiterate that. Hopefully they're listening down there. Slider.
Devers' double ended a string of 8 straight outs for Odorizzi. 2-0.
Two balls, no strikes. He doesn't have to throw a fastball right here. He kind of got a base open. The guy behind you, slow runner.
There is a strike.
And it wasn't a fastball.
Two and 1. And time called.
Alex Cora, I had a chance to catch up with him during batting practice.
3-1.
And he just kind of was talking about, he's a guy, I've been knowing him since we were 16 years old. We played in some tournaments together. And just catching up with him was pretty cool. And he's just talking about him as a manager his first year and what he's doing, 72 wins. Just let him go play and have fun, crack jokes with them. Not too far removed from the game. He understands these guys. And they go out and play for him because he lets them perform.
3-1 to Nunez. Swing and a miss. Easier to do that with a veteran-laden team, and the Red Sox are that. I mean, they've got some guys who've developed over the course of the last 4 or 5 years into accomplished major league players. Team that has won and is obviously winning this year again. 3-2 to Nunez. Ball 4, not even close. First walk issued by Odorizzi, and now the tying run will come to the plate in Sandy Leon.
The pitch was, I think, was the right pitch. Just the location was just way off. And if you walk Nunez, it doesn't matter because you got Leon hitting behind him. It's not a fast runner. Hopefully we can get a ground ball and get a double play and get out of this.
Leon with a fly ball to right to lead off the second inning. Again, Odorizzi's just had 7 ground ball double plays this year. And he's gotten 3 ground ball outs tonight. Foul back, a strike. Away.
1-1 count. Try to get this two-seamer or something down and away to get him to roll over into a double play. So easy up here to say that. It's so easy just to say, get a double play.
Popped up. And it's Cave cutting across, making the catch. I say popped up, and it was the medium deep left field.
Center fielder calls off the left fielder.
Again.
He has precedence over everyone on the field.
That'll bring up Jackie Bradley Jr. Hit the 2-home run to start the scoring in last night's ball game. And, well, Bradley's numbers very modest, poor. In fact, they are on the upswing. He's done pretty well over the last 4 weeks, hitting just under 300 over the last 4 weeks. 2 on, 2 out. The Twins up by 3.
I had a conversation with him today as well, talking to all the players. And
to center, Cave back, leaps, can't make the play, and this is trouble. Devers scores. Nunez will score. Coming to third and being held is Bradley. A 2-run triple that was nearly a game-tying 3-run inside the park home run.
Fastball, middle away. Oh, changeup, middle away. He stayed on that pitch. And Jake Cave giving a great leap. And just couldn't come out. The ball ricochets off the wall. And when it hits that wall, it comes off pretty hard. And that's why he got the roll that he did.
If it were anyone other than Mookie Betts hitting next, they may have sent Bradley to try to tie the game. But Betts 0 for 2. Will have a chance to tie it here in the 4th. Inside ball 1.
He's a really good fastball hitter. Actually, he's not a really good fastball hitter. He's a good off-speed hitter. Excuse me. Stay tight on him. Stay away. The fastball away. There we go.
And a strike.
And if you throw that off speed, make sure you keep it down. For some reason, he hits that off speed pretty well.
1-1. Foul back. 1-2.
There's a little cut fastball up in the zone. Had a pretty good hack at it. I can see a fastball up, striking him out. The end of the inning. What you think? No?
I don't think he's going to strike him out.
What? Fastball up.
Down and away, backhanded by Garver. 2-2. Well, each team has gotten a big 2-run, 2-out triple. Polanco for the Twins, and now Bradley for the Red Sox. Two and two from Odorizzi to Betts. Past a diving Sano, and the game is tied. Betts to second. And the ball taking a long carom from the fence back up the foul line. And the chant of Mookie continues. And we're tied at 4.
Did a good job of the man on third not giving away the at-bat.
Garvin Alston will jog to the mound.
And here's the slider, cut fastball, something that was off speed. He was able to hit it down that left field line. And it bounced all the way back halfway to third base.
Twins got 3 runs in the third with a pair of 2-out hits, and now in the fourth the Red Sox get 3 with a couple of 2-out hits. Betts at second, 2 down, Benintendi the batter. Pretty smart decision as it turned out by Carlos Fables, holding up Bradley at third base with the league's best hitter due up next. No reason to make the last out at home plate. And now Benintendi has a chance to put the Red Sox in front. Singleton scored in the first. Hit a ground ball to Polanco in the third.
Benintendi's a really good fastball hitter. Doesn't hit the off speed really well, but anybody that's hitting in the 2-hole, second.
In this lineup.
In front of JD Martinez has to be a great fastball hitter. You got speedster in front of you and you got a power guy behind you. You're going to get a steady diet of fastballs.
And now inside 2-0. Odorizzi had set down 8 men in a row, and then Devers got his double. Nunez drew a walk. Bradley with his triple off the fence in left center. And Betts with a double down the left field line. Popped up.
Change up
to Rosario, and that ends the inning. Red Sox with 3 in the fourth, and we're tied headed to the fifth. he looks now or not. Although Tigers beat Cleveland tonight 2-1 in less than 2.5 hours. So if the Twins can find a way to win this ball game, margin gets back to 7 games. Mauer will lead off the 5th. But the games between the two teams have been so good, generally featuring good starting pitching. This has been kind of the aberration here, with Porcello giving up 4 earned runs in 4 innings and Odorizzi giving up 4 earned runs. 1 strike to Mauer. And now a ball.
Yeah, I know we have 2 months left in the season. You know, with Escobar going over to the Diamondbacks and Presley over to the Astros in a trade. You know, it's not giving up. You know, these guys still have a chance to win. They still have to go out there and battle and grind. And they've been doing that the last, you know, couple days.
Well, just think back to last year when the trades were made. Garcia was dealt, Kinsler was traded, and shortly after the trade deadline, this team was about as good a team as there was in the American League. The Twins were.
Yeah.
And somehow they got to try to find a way to recreate that. And with that said, you know, there's a chance that other players could be dealt.
They gotta
Not Rosario. I don't think.
No.
I don't think Rosario's going to be dealt.
Oh no, we got to stick with that guy. You just got to dig a little deeper, find something, dig deeper and get it done. Find a burn or the adrenaline that you need.
2-2 to Mauer. One thing to keep in mind too, you know, the Twins acquiring an awful lot of very young talent from the low levels of the minor leagues, A and AA. As soon as next year, even if that talent isn't ready to help at the big league level, they could be valuable trade chips for whoever the desirable players might be next year if the Twins find themselves in a better position. Liner to left, and Benintendi makes a great sliding catch.
That was a good play. Great swing by Joe Mauer.
And a hit everywhere but here, because the left fielder is so close to home plate. He was able to get in on that ball.
Yeah, he can play inside. Joe Mauer put a good swing on that. He's always trying to go to left field, but Benintendi made a better play. I mean, I was talking about that earlier with yesterday with Rosario diving feet first or knee first. He was able to lean forward and catch that ball, not slide feet first, going away from the ball.
Rosario tries center field. Jackie Bradley Jr. is there. A couple of well hit balls. And 2 outs. And now Polanco found some room in center field. Hit a triple to the triangle area. And remember last year when the Twins did make that run from the second week of August on, this guy was their everyday third place hitter of all people. Jorge Polanco hit third for a really good Twins lineup.
Yeah, Molitor played a long time, and he knows a bulldog when he sees one. Why do you think Mitch Garver yesterday was hitting 4th? The guy's first full year in the big leagues, he hits 4th. And you got Polanco last year, you put him in a 3-hole. Molitor is not going to do that unless he sees something in him that he's not afraid.
Polanco chops it, and nice play moving laterally. The 21-year-old Rafael Devers makes a nice play to end the inning.
Ozuna may have been demoted from the cleanup spot this weekend, but boy, has he responded in a big way. 3 hits today, including a first-inning grand slam against the Chicago Cubs that snapped a 35-game homerless streak for Ozuna and helping the Cardinals to the big 6-2 win today, guys.
And the Cardinals with the win, now 7 games behind the Cubs in the National League Central. JD Martinez will lead off the bottom of the 5th for Boston. And Odorizzi had a hard time getting ahead, strike 1 in the 4th inning. Now delivers ball 1 to Martinez to lead off the 5th.
I was looking at Ozuna, and you just think about a guy hitting 4th, and then he goes on and get dropped in the lineup. It's kind of like a breath of fresh air. It's like a weight was lifted off your shoulders, and it's probably one of the reasons why he's going to take off, because he's out of that 4-hole.
That one's high and deep, very deep, out of the ballpark, and it's 5-4. Home run number 32 for JD Martinez.
Talking about that earlier. Whenever you see the highlights and it's a home run, it's not the good slider, it's the one that hangs. He kind of left that one out on the plate. And here it is. Here's the slider. It's out over the plate. Kind of missed the spot, backed up and left it up. And I told you when it's low, he tries to lift. And when you leave JD Martinez a pitch out over the plate like that and serve it up, he's going to eat it.
Here's Moreland, an RBI single in the 1st, and then a pop-up to Sano. Missing inside, ball 1. We've seen Odorizzi fall behind, ball 1, so many at-bats here in the 4th and 5th inning. And the results speak for themselves. 3 runs in the 4th, an early one in the 5th. A big swing and a miss, 1-1.
JD Martinez, when he was with the Astros, we saw him hit in 2013, and I was like, who is this guy? He's hitting balls right, center, left, and he got released in 2014. We went to Dave Dombrowski and was like, hey, go get him. He's good. And we got him. The locker was next to mine. This guy asks a lot of questions. He wants to know everything. He has a book, and he writes down all the notes on every pitcher, everything that he's doing, every piece of information that he gets from other players, and he applies it to his career.
It really is a situation now where players, if they want to, can do an awful lot of homework in terms of tendency. And just for instance, Odorizzi hit, what was it, a 1-0 slider that was just kind of sitting there, I believe. And there's a strikeout of Moreland. I mean, hitters can determine what a pitcher's percentage of pitches are based on the count. In other words, and I don't know, what the research would show, but Martinez could come to the plate armed with the fact that even when it's 1-0, Odorizzi will throw that breaking ball 50% of the time, which means, all right, it's 1-0. I'm going to take a shot here, and I'm just going to sit on the breaking ball, and there it was.
Yeah, you sit on it and you make sure the pitch is up. Like, that 80% of the time this guy's going to throw a slider 1-0 or 2-0. He's going to throw his little cut fastball. And 1-2, he's going to throw a high fastball. So you just tell yourself, all right, get the fastball down in this count. JD Martinez is that guy. Most of the guys I try to work with, I always say, be a student of the game. Study guys, study your enemy. Always keep your enemy close. I want to know what you're doing, not so much focus on my mechanics, but focus on that guy, what he's trying to do to you and his tendencies.
A line drive base hit. And the Red Sox are having some pretty good swings against Odorizzi. You saw Gabriel Moya warming up in the Twins bullpen. A 1-out single for Bogarts, and that'll bring up Devers. And just to check my score sheet here, it was a 2-0 slider that Martinez hit over everything. Here's Devers. He has a single and a double already in the ball game.
were mentioning that he's 21 years old.
Isn't that something?
Oh my goodness.
He's already this good at age 21. And you know, I think we speculated last night. I did. I won't even attach you to it. You know, a world where the Twins might trade Brian Dozier, say, to the Red Sox, who have an opening, I think, at second base. And so this would be the type of player you'd like to trade someone like Dozier for, a guy who's on the verge, if not already being here, at having an impact at this level. But the Red Sox aren't going to give him up.
No.
I mean, goodness. Left-handed hitting third baseman who's only 21 years old and is only going to get better. They're not going to give that player up.
He doesn't look bad at third base as well. He's going to get better there. He's around a lot of players. Mookie Betts, JD Martinez, all these guys has been around the game. And he's going to get better because he's around good hitters.
We talked about that last night with JD Martinez when he did come to Detroit. You were there. Miguel Cabrera was there. Victor Martinez, some seasoned veteran guys that, even if Martinez wasn't one who asked a lot of questions, just to watch and see how you guys go about your business. Well, that's the position Devers is in now with the likes of Betts and Martinez.
Yep.
Bogarts, they've all been around and they've all succeeded. 1-1 and a throw to first.
And those guys been around Ortiz and maybe Veritek and guys that played the game and they're winners. They're World Series champions. How do they become World Series champions? Watch them, see what they do. How do they study the game? And these guys pick up on it, and it just keeps getting better. You have to have good guys in the clubhouse that can be, leaders on and off the field. And the young guys look at that.
Swung on and missed 1 and 2.
I never forget me, as a youngster. I'm 18 years old, and I look at Kirby Puckett and Dave Winfield. My locker's in the middle. I'm 18. I'm like, okay, let me watch these guys and watch everything. It was amazing to see Kirby, have fun with the guys, talk to the vendor, to the janitor, all of them, treat everybody the same. And it kind of jumped on me, and I wanted to be like that guy. And Devers in a good position to look at a JD Martinez and Mookie Betts.
Devers strikes out. Carver hangs on, 2 away. And then they'll bring up Nunez.
That young kid's going to be all right.
97 pitches for Odorizzi. He's trying to wrap up the 5th inning. Finds himself behind now by a run after the Martinez home run. Nunez walked and scored. He's also committed an error tonight. The reason the Red Sox from this distance is about as distant as anyone can be, and that's from my perspective. But Dustin Pedroia is not going to play anymore. They were hoping to get him back this year, and he was back for, 3 games and then went back on the disabled list. And we've seen Nunez make a couple of errors in the last 2 ball games. And a lot of players out there that would seem to be upgrades over what they currently have. Now, the Brewers were another team that could use some help in the middle infield, but they got Mike Moustakas, and they're talking now moving Travis Shaw over to second base and having Moustakas play at third. Shaw's a big dude to be playing. Yeah. He's like 6'3", 225, and he's your second baseman.
Yeah, I heard he's been working and has a pretty good glove over there.
It's interesting to see how it all came down yesterday with so many players being moved like so many dominoes. Once the Twins made the move on with Eduardo Escobar, then Moustakas was finally traded by Kansas City. Swung on and fouled back, 1-2.
It does strike me, it does make sense. Dozier, anybody wanted a second baseman, Dozier will be their guy. You're contending, you need that second baseman. Dozier's, he's a guy that's proven that he can be solid. He won a Gold Glove last year, and here at Fenway, Dozier will kill this place.
1-2 from Odorizzi to Nunez, trying to get the Twins off the field, down a run here in the 5th. Bauer on an errant pickoff toss. Bogarts is back.
I think the high fastball set up was the slider, or he might go right to the slider.
A strikeout of Nunez, but a leadoff home run by J.D. Martinez, and the Red Sox are back in front by a run. Inducted into the Twins Hall of Fame. The first 10,000 fans in attendance will get a Johan Santana Twins Hall of Fame bobblehead presented by Delta Airlines. Go to twinsbaseball.com/tickets to learn more. Well, that actually looks like Johan.
Yeah,
how many different bobbleheads have you had of you, do you suppose?
Man, I've had about, a lot. I had 20 or more.
Really?
And none of them look like me. They look like my brothers.
1-0 to Dozier.
Johan wants me to introduce him.
And you'll do that, won't you?
Yeah, I'm honored, man. I'm honored to go out there and introduce him. I won't take too much of his time, but I got a lot to say about that young man.
1-1 to Dozier. On the subject of likeness, what was worse, the bobbleheads that you had made of you, or the Celebra duck that they made of you? You remember those things?
Like the bathtub duck?
Yeah.
The rubber ducky? Yeah.
Dozier taps it foul to stay alive.
Yeah, that was...
thankfully, that was not a long-lived promotion.
Yeah, I can't imagine people put me in their bathtub.
Well, but that's what they were. They were little, like, rubber ducks.
Yeah.
They're supposed to look like baseball players, right?
Right. Yeah, rubber ducky, you're the one, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
1-2. Dozier takes high with a fastball. 2-2.
Can you imagine? Mom, where's my Tory ducky? No. Doesn't sound right.
Morrison and Sano will follow, and Dozier pops it foul, backing out of play. Got to pitch up and fouled it back.
That looked like a hanging curveball. Yeah, this is a pitch that Dozier wants back. Hangy, we bangy.
Another 2-2. 3-2. foul away. Dozier with an RBI single, driving in the 4th Twins run. They've not had a base hit since. They did get a base runner when Nunez committed an error in the 4th.
I think they know Dozier's strength is pulling the ball. And most of these teams are starting to figure that out and pitch him soft away or fastballs away and just show him inside.
And he took ball 4, and it's a leadoff walk. First walk issued by Porcello. That'll bring up Morrison. It was 1-0 Boston until there was 1 out in the 2nd. And StatCast, powered by AWS. Almost 110 miles per hour off the bat, 430 feet from home plate. And then with 1 on and 3 runs in the 3rd, he tried to bunt to beat the shift, but he bunted it back to Porcello.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to him about that. That bunt. Didn't like it.
Side, ball 1.
This guy has a lot of power, man. He hit 30+ home runs last year, and like I said earlier, just starting off late in spring training, getting signed. He's trying to play catch up.
Almost foul. Dozier with 7 steals on the year. That's tied for the team lead. Rosario also has stolen 7. Heath Hembry warming up.
It's kind of like, with the Twins way. We used to have this thing called the Twins way of playing the game, and it was always 1st to 3rd. It was always we had stolen bases. 7 at this time is very low.
And that gets by Leon, and Dozier will go to 2nd. He doesn't need to steal 2nd. Almost looked like a passed ball. We'll see how they rule it.
We heard Derek Falvey just talking about getting more athletic. Here's a fastball inside.
It was almost a strike.
He missed it.
There will be a pass ball, and now the 90th pitch for Porcello. The Twins have the tying run at 2nd. Nobody out. 2-1 to Morrison. Ball 3. Sano on deck. Strike called, and it's a full count.
It's a tough pitch. It's a hanging slider. I think it's more of a ball. Doesn't really have to pitch to him. Also put him on and try to go for the double play with Sano.
Popped up. Short left center. And Bradley with the catch. Morrison retired, and Dozier still at 2nd base. And we'll bring up Miguel Sano.
Let's look at tonight's piece of wrench for the win. A big pick-me-up. And we need Miguel Sano to, with the exit of Escobar, I think him coming up, he can give these guys a big pick-me-up. And we really need a big pick-me-up right here in this situation.
Sano with a ground ball to 3rd. He was called out on strikes in the 4th. Taken low, ball 1.
He's going to try to keep the ball down on Sano. Sano, any pitch that's up and makes a mistake on Sano is going to go out of the park.
breaking ball, slider on 2-0. And Sano was good enough with his pitch recognition to take it. 3-0. First base is open. Grossman is on deck.
Sano's a big guy, man. But this guy has pretty good plate awareness. He chases that slider, but
there's a check swing on a breaking ball over the inside corner.
Gene Glenn giving him the green light. A power guy like that, you know he's trying to throw a fastball 3-0. It's a good time to put on the green light. He just didn't get the pitch that he liked.
Fouled away on the fastball and lifted it down the right field line. Now the count's full.
Big guy like this, Sano, and Rick Porcello's head, he's telling himself, like, look, I don't have to throw him a strike. His weakness is the slider. Let me try to throw this slider down and away. If I miss, doesn't matter.
He took one on 2-0. Now he got softer breaking ball and tapped it foul.
More like a curveball, huh?
Twins trying to take advantage of Porcello's opening walk. Yeah, there's a breaking ball.
The curveball.
Sano fought it off.
Stay alive. Get the pitch up and try to stay alive.
And time called. Porcello issued his first walk to Dozier, and then a pass ball got him to second base. Morrison hit a fly ball to center, and now Sano with a 3-2 count. And Leone will use a trip to the mound.
Just a little mix up. Porcello doesn't want to throw that fastball. He wants to throw the off speed.
Three-two to Miguel Sano. It's down the right field line, and that will turn foul as well. Not too far from the pesky pole. Did you ever hit one down that way that just tucked inside the pole?
No.
It's about 212 feet from home plate, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
it looks so close.
I feel like you have to be lucky to hit that ball that way.
Yeah.
Look at the way it angles.
Yeah.
The foul pole, and it angles. To hit that home run, you have to be lucky. You can't try to do that.
Another 3-2 coming to Miguel Sano. Got him with a slow breaking ball. 2 down. And here comes Alex Cora. He doesn't want to have Porcello face Robbie Grossman, apparently.
Just to see how he's doing.
So they're going to make a change with 100 pitches thrown by Porcello. Chance to win the ball game, but the Twins have the tying run at second now with 2 outs in the 6th. only on FS1. Twins trying to get it tied up. They took a leadoff walk. There was a passed ball, but then Porcello got Morrison to fly out, Sano to strike out. And so the Red Sox will trust this lead with the tying run at second to Heath Hembree.
Sano's strikeout, man. He really has to work on that weakness. If you understand your weakness, you don't try to get rid of it. The other teams are gonna expose it.
Grossman 0 for 2. He struck out looking in the second. Reached on a Nunez error in the fourth. Down and in, ball one. Grossman getting a chance to start in place of Max Kepler. Asked Derek Shelton, if not for the collision with the wall in right field, would he be in the starting lineup? And Derek said, yeah, probably. He would have been in the lineup, available off the bench. Likely, I would think, to start in the ball game tomorrow. 1-0. Strike call, 1-1.
Can't do anything with that pitch. That was the perfect pitch.
He's been tough with inherited runners. Only 3 of 23 have scored.
Look at this pitch. It's right down and in on the corner. Can't do anything with that. That's a pitcher's pitch.
Swung on and missed. And the pitch up but swung through it. 1-2.
These guys really have some arms in that bullpen. It's 95 miles an hour. He couldn't catch up to it. Grossman does a great job with 2 strikes, though.
There goes Dozier to third, and the pitch is to the backstop and bounces right back to Leone. If that ball had hit something, anything, and kicked sideways, Dozier might have had a chance to score. He got a great break from second base. And the ball went all the way to the backstop and right back to home plate. Dozier will get a stolen base. That ball went through the wickets of the catcher and the umpire.
I think Dozier actually saw him grip that pitch, and that's why he went. He saw in his glove that he was going to throw a slider. He got a different grip, so he just took off.
2-2 to Grossman. Up the middle, backhanded by Bogarts, threw him out. A good play. And the Twins strand Dozier at third base. The Red Sox still lead by a run. apples of summer. 5-4 Red Sox in front. The Twins welcoming back Miguel Sano to their lineup, and they hope at some point Byron Buxton will be here as well. Had the left hand / wrist injury. Homered on the second pitch he saw last night. Not in the starting lineup tonight. So we'll hope that Byron enjoys good health. A surge at the plate, because this Twins team I know is a whole lot more interesting with him playing on it.
Yeah, he's very exciting.
Gabriel Moya called up along with Miguel Sano today from Rochester. The team was actually in Louisville, and Moya is here, and he'll make his first appearance since his call-up. Facing Sandy Leon, Jackie Bradley Jr. and Mookie Betts. Leon a switch hitting catcher, so he'll hit right-handed against Moya. With a couple of outfield flies. Fly ball left field, and Rosario drifts back.
Center fielder has to get over there.
And it hit the wall. And Leon will check in at second with a double. Rosario took his time getting back to the wall because he was right in front of the warning track as it was. But a little bit of wind blowing out may have helped that ball get out of his reach. A leadoff double.
Leon got a pitch. You know, any other ballpark, that's an out. But when the ball's coming down that high wall, Rosario has to get under it, but the center fielder has to get over there because he can get caught under that thing and hit the wall and bounce far. He could have got a triple on that if it wasn't for the center fielder.
Fastball up and in to Jackie Bradley Jr. All the years I've been coming here, I've never seen a ball hit the ladder.
I have. And it sprayed to the right. The guy had a triple.
1-0 to Bradley. And Bradley swings through 79, 1-1.
It's a funky windup.
Yeah. That is a curious, curious part of the structure here.
When do you climb that ladder?
I've not done that. I believe story goes that was put there so they could go up, and before they put seats up there, and retrieve the balls that were hit over the green monster.
Now it's just something is a visual.
It's a part of the mystique of Fenway Park.
Ooh.
2-1. And a fastball on the outside corner.
Why you just can't take it off? Like, get rid of it.
Because it's part of the mystique of Fenway Park. That ladder may have been there when they built this place in 1912. You can't take down part of history.
It's history. That means the past.
Tap foul at the plate. Moya last year got into 7 ball games, 6 1/3 innings, 5 hits, couple of walks, couple of home runs.
Moya has a funky delivery, kind of jerks his body, and that really messes with the hitter.
Well, what I think happens is hitters see Moya seemingly in a hurry to throw the baseball, and then he throws the changeup that isn't in any hurry at all. I mean, all the motion, it's very rapid and quick and all that. You think, well, the ball's coming soon, but it doesn't get there real quick.
You see, like, Jackie's having panic swings right there. That last pitch.
All right, now from the stretch.
It's jerky.
And then here everything's coming, and the ball hardly comes out of his hand at all. Sometimes that changeup has been back into the 70-mile-per-hour range. 3-2. Betts on deck.
I think if I was hitting against Moya, I would have bad dreams at night. Jerky.
And 79 gets tapped foul. Mentioned Bradley's been picking it up lately, getting the batting average heading north. Big 2-run triple that came close to being a 3-run inside the park home run. The Twins have already given up one of those on this road trip to Drew Butera.
I talked to him earlier. I was saying that earlier before.
And a walk now will fill first base.
I had a conversation with him, and he was saying that he was losing his bat head. He was trying to get around every ball, and now his focus is to stay in left center and react to the fastball in. And you can see the results the last couple of games.
Tough spot now here for Moya, the number 8 batter, the number 9 batter of each reach, and now you get to face Betts with 2 men aboard. Tied the game with a double down the left field line his last time up.
Mookie Betts has hit .361 with 8 home runs against lefties. Oof.
Strike called at the belt. And McGill getting loose. Twins with 7 relief pitchers, now 3 lefties and 4 righties with Presley's trade. And 6 starting pitchers. The Twins have announced that Jose Barrios will start tomorrow. Some question whether it would be Barrios or Mejia, but it will be Barrios tomorrow. 1-1. Close pitch, called ball 2, fastball. Where that was, that looked like that had the corner. And the Twins using mound visits. They'll have just 2 left after this one from Garver.
I mean, these guys know that he hit lefties well. They just kind of go and say, hey, you know, you don't have to throw this ball down the middle. Just try to hit the spot or miss it. You got Benintendi who's hitting .222 against lefties. Just have to make that perfect pitch. Yeah, I guess he hits righties pretty good.
Yeah,
too.
he does. 2-1 to simply put a really good hitter. Right off the end of the bat, the changeup, and Betts way out in front. 2-2. Moya has tamed down his windup into the stretch. Remember last year we saw him and it looked like he balked on just about every pitch. But he simplified it a little bit, all the movement. Right down the middle. So Betts way out in front of the changeup, and then Moya answers with a fastball that cut the plate in half, 1 away.
That was a really good pitch. All that herky-jerky, and then next thing you know, he throws one, paints it inside corner.
Didn't cut the plate in half. That barely had the corner.
Yeah, that's a really good pitch. You really can't do anything about that.
Benintendi will bat. And Garver almost came out of his crouch. Like he might have been crossed up, and the pitch almost looked like it was a strike. Ball 1.
I think he was crossed up.
Well, there are only 2 mound visits left. We're only in the 6th inning. Otherwise, there might have been a mound visit after a possible cross up. Fastball, swing and a miss. Benintendi singled and scored in the first. Since then, a grounder to short and a fly to left. Odorizzi with 5 innings pitched, 5 runs allowed, all of them earned, and now the Twins bullpen will try to keep this game within reach.
Oh,
up and in. Boy, a better cover home plate here. Standing near the mound, a wild pitch allowing Leone to go to third. Bradley to second.
Just a young guy, man, that didn't know he had to cover that plate. I'm pretty sure Garvin's going to talk to him about that.
Leone, the catcher, is probably not going to try to dash home, but you still need to come toward home plate. 2-1 now to Benintendi. Twins bring the infield halfway in. Stroke to right and down for a hit. A run will score, and Grossman's throw to home plate. Benintendi driving in Leone, and the Red Sox lead by 2. Moy has faced 4 men. He's only retired 1, and now he's got to face J.D. Martinez. And Derek Shelton coming out as the acting manager in the absence of Paul Molitor, and he's going to bring in McGill. Trying to keep this game close. First and third, only 1 out. Moya's appearance, a disappointing one, facing 4 men, giving up 2 hits, a walk, and throwing a wild pitch. Refreshing for the Red Sox to see J.D. Martinez hit his 32nd home run of the year over the monster seats. That gave the Red Sox a 1-run lead. They've added another one here in the 6th. They're threatening to do more damage. Matt McGill will come in. Pitched just a 1 inning on this road trip. Went a couple of weeks without throwing at all. Went from July 10th to July 23rd and didn't pitch at all. And now 1 inning here 5 days ago in Toronto. So McGill is fresh, shall we say.
Since we've acquired him, man, I definitely think this guy has been solid for what he was called to do.
Martinez hitting with runners on the corners. Tap foul off a leg. Martinez tonight a single in the first, the home run leading off the 5th. Martinez has bounced into 10 double plays. We've talked about it the last couple nights as well. Red Sox, in addition to high batting average, A lot of power. Love to steal bases. Benintendi's 17 for 18 in stolen bases.
That's why you got to keep him honest over there, because you don't want to throw fastballs. You have to keep him tight.
Swing and a miss. And there's plenty of fastball there. That's been the one thing that we've noticed with McGill. He can get it up into the mid-90s. Can move it around. He's had some really good outings for the Twins this year. He just hasn't pitched much for whatever reason lately.
Yeah, I like when he comes in. He does the job. If you need him as a long man, he comes in and pitches there, and he has enough juice to kind of get out of an inning.
One and two.
97.
Yeah. Well, again, he's fresh. Only one inning since July 10th.
And guys like JD Martinez, Miggy, and these guys are big hitters. Pitchers have to use their best fastball, the best slider. So 97 is probably his best fastball.
Breaking ball, got it in a really good spot. 2 down. McGill, as you saw the numbers, 36 and a third innings and 35 strikeouts. Here's number 36.
JD Martinez is a really good fastball hitter. His pitch selection actually is perfect. He's not hitting as well with the slider. That was a great pitch by McGill.
102nd strikeout this year for JD Martinez. Garvin giving signs in front of the plate, not a mound visit. Twins have just 2 of those left. Mitch Moreland, an RBI single in the first, to pop up to third and a strikeout. Long hold by McGill, and the pitch is inside.
97. I like to see that out of the Twins bullpen, guys coming in and throwing 97. We hadn't seen that much in the past.
Ryan Presley did that. Foul back. Well, we might be seeing McGill here for a while, given the state of the Twins bullpen. Got a couple of left-handers, Duke and Rogers, but you know they're basically at most 1 inning guys. Rodney's been used 4 of the last 5 days. I think the Twins would prefer, even if Rodney wanted the ball, not to give it to him. So that would leave Hildenberger in potentially as the closer if the Twins have a lead to the bottom of the ninth. 1-1 to Moreland. Benintendi goes, pitches inside, and just a bluff. And Benintendi just walks the last 30 feet to second base. If that was Sandy Leone at third base, they maybe throw through, but it wasn't. It was Jackie Bradley Jr. at third base. So they let Benintendi go to second. Gets a stolen base. And the count now 2-1 to Moreland.
Ooh.
2-2.
When you see a guy throwing 95, 97, that creates those type of swings and off speed. It's a really good slider right there. I mean, he's looking for that fastball and got fooled on that breaking pitch. Good pitch by McGill once again.
Ooh. 95 power against power. And Moreland spun out trying to hit that over the bullpen in right field. 2-2
with 2 strikes. He swung out of his heels, out of his shoes. You better believe he's about to get that slider.
Got him up and away with a fastball, and McGill does a great job striking out Martinez and Moreland. It's a 2-run game.
Scoring 2 runs right there. And Dozier, another 2-out single, scoring Polanco after his triple. And Mookie Betts hitting the off speed down the left field line and scoring. And JD Martinez getting a hanging slider. You hang it, you bang it. Hit that ball, put a supercharge in that. These guys jumping around.
Garver, Cave, and Mauer will face Hembry. Twins had the tying run in scoring position with nobody out back when it was a 1-run game, of course, but Dozier was left at third. Now Garver to lead things off, and he takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Mitchell for 2 in the ball game tonight. Overall, of course, has had a really good road trip, but seeing the batting average come back down on him a little bit. 262. Outside, and it's 1-1.
You know, with Garver, it's going to go back and forth. You know, he's trying to make adjustments on them. They're trying to make adjustments on him, and that's just going to go back and forth until he establishes himself in the big leagues.
Ball back.
Oh, close one.
Twins haven't had a hit since Dozier's RBI single in the 3rd. The threat that they had in the 6th was a result of a leadoff walk. And Garver strikes out on the way here in the 7th. We'll bring up Cave. MLB.TV is now available at a lower price. For $82.99, you can watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout, other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV. Take advantage of this special offer. Here's Cave, a single and a run scored, and then he hit a line drive right to Bogaerts, who was standing in the illegal side of second base. Now, how do you feel about the thought of banning shifts and forcing infielders to play 2 on each side?
I don't know. I'm more of a defensive guy. And if you allow me to play a shift on you and take away your percentage, I mean, I like it. I like the shifts.
Okay.
But as far as hitting, it disappoints me because if they're doing that much to you and you know you have a weakness, why not work on it?
Such as hitting the ball to the open part of the field.
Right. And it's sad that, you know, a lot of guys have these super shifts on them. It shows you that you're not making adjustments.
Right. I was surprised when we were in Kansas City to hear Ned Yost say he was in favor of banning shifts. And Ned's about as old school as they get. At least I thought he was. 1 and 2. And now 2 and 2. I'm with you. You know, to me, someone who couldn't play, but I've appreciated players who could move the ball around the field. There's a reason the lines are drawn at a 90-degree angle. Use the whole field.
You just, you know, I don't know why you don't make those adjustments, because once the enemy finds out your weakness, nice swing.
Center, but Bradley is back, still on the outfield grass, out number 2. And now Joe Mauer will bat with the bases empty.
We talk about the shift. I'm kind of mixed on it. I like it because I'm a defensive guy, and I always try to take away your 80%.
Right.
And let you have your 20%. And these guys are taking away the 80% I always talked about as far as outfielders. And I just feel, as far as hitting, I'm a hitter as well. If they shift on me like that, I recognize my weakness. I have to try to figure that out. It's just I can't have a weakness.
What'd you say on the bus? How'd you put it? If you don't recognize your weaknesses, you have no strength.
If you can't recognize your weakness, not just in baseball and anything in life, you have no strength. Because someone sees your weakness. So figure it out in life and in baseball. Baseball is life, life is baseball. Great lesson.
And Mauer lines a single to center. He has 2 hits here today. He's also lined out to the left fielder Benintendi, who made a nice sliding, diving catch on him in the 5th inning. So now the tying run to the plate in Eddie Rosario. Replay coming up, brought to you by Carrier.
It's a fastball in. It's a ball, and Joe Mauer stayed inside of that. They wanted him to hit the ball into that shift over there, and he defied that shift and hit the ball up the middle. This is the kind of adjustments you have to make. But Joe's been around the game. He's seen a lot, and he's gonna beat that. The pitcher still has to make that pitch to allow him to hit that into the shift. You make a mistake, Joe's gonna make you pay.
Rosario swings and misses. Eddie 0 for 3 in the ball game. A ground out, a strikeout, and a fly ball. And a take, 1-1.
Rosario likes that high fastball. Embry's been throwing that high fastball. I can see that going over the green monster.
So Ryan Brazier warming up. One and 2.
Let's go, Rosie.
Tap to the right side to the glove of Moreland. And that'll wrap up the 7th inning.
I got closer to 10 and 12 and, you know, the 15th year on the ballot. I became more at peace with the whole idea of not making it, that it's okay that my career is still defined by what I accomplished, not by whether I've got that accolade at the end. And, you know, I learned a valuable lesson, and that is be grateful for what you have. I could have complained. Who wants to hear it? You know, I had so much to be grateful for.
Jack talking about finally getting into the Hall of Fame. He'll be inducted tomorrow with Jim Thome and 4 others. And you know, I've got, I think, kind of a unique perspective on it because Bert Blyleven had to wait a long time. I think it was his 14th year on the ballot before he finally was inducted in 2011. And I was at Bert's induction a few years ago. I was at Harmon Killebrew's induction. He was my broadcast partner back in 1984, and we think of Harmon as a Hall of Famer. What we don't realize is it took him to the 4th ballot before he was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. And I think once you're in, at least it's been my perspective, once you're in the Hall of Fame, how many years it took you to get there is about as relevant as, in Bert's case, what his career batting average was. It just didn't matter, you know, how long it took you once you get there. That's not to excuse the wait by any means. Right. It has to have been frustrating for Bert, Jack, even Harmon, although he didn't have to wait as long. But once you're in, you knew Harmon Killebrew was a Hall of Famer. You didn't know it took him 4 ballots to get in, did you?
Oh, no. I mean, I didn't know Harmon Killebrew took 4 ballots. The numbers he put up were 500+ home runs.
Right.
I mean, there's no way.
Should have been first ballot Hall of Famer, right? Well, he wasn't, but it didn't matter once he got in.
You know, while those guys are playing, Jack and Bert, all these guys are playing during the season, they're not thinking about in their whole career, I want to go to the Hall of Fame. You don't think about that until after your career is over. And it just, you see these guys go in, you're like, wow, I want to be one of those guys. And he put in the work. He did what he had to do during his career. When he's on the mound right here, he's not thinking about that. He's thinking about winning this World Series. And he went on to do that. And the results of all his hard work throughout his career, everything he's learned and made adjustments on, and he's now being rewarded with getting in the Hall of Fame.
Finally a ball put in play. Great stop behind the bag. Polanco throws him out. What a play by Jorge Polanco.
Wow.
That ball was hit hard up the middle, and Polanco picked it off and threw him out.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Polanco. Devers still hitting balls hard, but Polanco denied him of a hit. That was a nice stretch out play, and got up to his feet pretty quick, and nice strong throw. Yeah, look at McGill. He's pumped up. He's fired up.
Well, he should be. He's had a good outing of him on his own. He struck out the first 3 batters he faced. Now Devers is retired.
Now, we was talking about McGill with Ryan Presley going over to the Astros. He could turn out to be that guy for us. And I think him hitting 97 right here, I think he feels it as well.
And a strike.
You know, he's seizing the opportunity, you know, right now to give, you know, the front office, the coaching staff a chance to take a look at him. He could be the guy as well. And that's the bulldog mentality you have to have.
And now 2-1.
Next man up.
Presley got into the game for the Astros tonight against the Rangers and gave up a home run. Eduardo Escobar was in the lineup for the Diamondbacks. High fly center field. Cave is back, still back, and leaping, can't make the play, off the wall again. And Grossman is there for the carom, and he'll fire toward third base. Second triple that the Red Sox have had against the wall in center field. Not the Green Monster, but the high wall in center field. Now that play by Polanco really looms large because the Red Sox still haven't scored this inning.
Yeah, Eduardo Nunez, he really likes that fastball. No matter how hard you throw, if you throw a middle in, he jumps on it. A nice effort by Jake Cave once again. The ball hitting that solid wall, it's going to bounce pretty far if you miss it. But it was a nice effort by him.
Well, now 2 down, a runner at third, and Sandy Leon. He'll hit a fly ball down the left field line, or to left field, and that carried just far enough to hit the wall and carry him for a double. Outside ball 1.
For McGill right now, you just got to settle in and don't worry about the man at third. Just go after this guy. There's 2 outs. No pressure.
Bends a breaking ball over, 1-1. Two and 1. Mentioned we might see McGill for a while because he's been a long reliever. He hasn't been a reliever lately, as we detailed, but he's had a couple of outings of 3 innings. We might see him in that role here tonight. He might be asked to pitch the rest of the game. Longest outing, 3 1/3 innings. That was way back on June 23rd. 3-1 to Leon. Jackie Bradley Jr. on deck. And a strike.
Slider.
And the lack of walks, one of the reasons why McGill has excelled in his role. McGill now with 37 2/3 innings and only 7 walks. Dribbled back to the mound, and McGill has an easy play.
PFP.
And he makes it. Nunez left at third. It's still a 2-run lead for Boston. In fact, on this date, 6 years ago today, that the Twins traded Francisco Liriano to the White Sox to get Eduardo Escobar, and maybe 6 years from now, the Diamondbacks announcers will be talking about 6 years ago today, Eduardo Nunez made his first appearance for the Diamondbacks and drew a walk and scored a run. Tyler Thornburg will pitch to the 3, 4, and 5 batters for the Twins, starting with Jorge Polanco.
I wasn't going to say nothing, but you said Eduardo Nunez.
Did I really? Eduardo Escobar.
No big deal.
Polanco takes strike 1. 2-run triple and a run scored in the third. Twins down a couple here, trying to get some base runners aboard in the 8th. And there's a called second strike. 284 the average for Polanco. Love to get aboard for Dozier, Morris, and Sano, the power in the Twins lineup. Taken low.
Tyler Thornburg actually got his first win as a Red Sox last night in a walk-off home run with Mookie Betts.
Pitch the top of the 10th. And now ball 2. And the entire Boston bullpen throws right-handed. They do not have a left-handed reliever, something that might be addressed in the next couple of days. On the ground hit right to Moreland, and he'll go to the bag, 1 away. And that'll bring up Dozier. Are you game for a little excitement? You can head to foxsportsnorth.com, submit a photo and message for the opportunity to be featured in the Minnesota Lottery Winner's Circle during our broadcast and receive $100 in scratch tickets with the Minnesota Lottery. Every day is game day. 1 down, and now Dozier, who has an RBI single and a walk. Strike of the knees. One option the Red Sox might have is Drew Pomerantz, who's been taken out of the rotation. Originally he was scheduled to start tomorrow, but instead it'll be newly acquired Nathan Eovaldi. 0-2 to Dozier.
I think Drew Pomerantz is their lefty they need in the bullpen. They might leave him there instead of acquiring a lefty.
And landed 3 feet in front of the plate. 1-2.
With the arms they have, all the righties that they have, they've been doing pretty good all season.
The Yankees have already lost once, and they're losing late in the second game today at Yankee Stadium. The Royals won the first game after last night's game was rained out 10-5, and Kansas City leading in the second game 4-3 in the 8th. And the Red Sox already with a comfortable lead in the American League East. Dozier swings through, strike 3, another slow breaking ball. 2 down.
There's nothing comfortable 5.5 games back with the Yankees breathing down your neck. Nice little slider from Thornburg. And that's where they've been pitching Dozier. See how his bat rolls out of the zone?
You were saying earlier, soft away. They're throwing him a lot of stuff near the outside corner.
Yeah.
Here's Morrison, bases empty, 2 down. And a ball. A home run down the right field line his first time up. Back in the second inning to tie the game at 1. Into the shift on the first half. Hop. Nunez throws him out. Thornburg has a 1-2-3 8th inning. Matt McGill will pitch to the Red Sox here in the 8th inning. He's done a nice job giving up just the 2-out triple to Nunez, but he left him at third base. Just chuckling because when we met with acting manager Derek Shelton before the game today, again, he's acting manager because Paul Molitor is in Cooperstown. And somebody, it wasn't me, but somebody asked Derek what's been the toughest or the most difficult part of the day. And I thought he was going to say meeting with you guys, meaning the media, but he didn't say that. Might have thought it, but he didn't say it.
He's doing a pretty good job. Molly will be proud.
One and one, and now 2-1 to Jackie Bradley Jr. Taylor Rogers getting loose. It's Bradley, Betts, left-hander Benintendi, another left-hander Moreland. Potentially this inning, Twins are hoping that McGill can pitch a quick 1-2-3 8th and get back to the bat rack. Up and in. That's a walk leading off the 8th inning. That's not what Derek Shelton was hoping would happen here. Twin season ticket packages are now more convenient than ever. All traditional ticket plans include unlimited ticket exchange options, so you never have a ticket go unused. Season ticket holders are also automatically enrolled in the Sweet Spot benefits and rewards program. You can learn more at twinsbaseball.com/season tickets.
You hate to see that leadoff walk, especially with Jackie Bradley Jr. 40% of the time, leadoff walks score runs.
The MVP chant starting with McGill missing the outside corner. Kind of hard to argue. Red Sox have been baseball's best team. He's been their best hitter. You look across the board, might win a batting championship. And his teammate Martinez might be the only person who would keep him from winning a home run title this year.
He's definitely their best player.
To left center field. Kay plays the bounce. Bradley to third. They're going to wave him around. Polanco's throw to the plate. Yes! Not in time, and the Twins may take a look at it because it looked like Bradley may have slid past the bag or the home plate and touched the base, the plate with his hand. We'll see if the Twins take a look at it. They're reviewing it right now.
I think he slipped his hand in there. It's a nice fastball. He's a really good fastball hitter. And he puts that in left center field wall, and J.K. played this ball the right way, but he slipped his hand in there.
Yeah, right there. Yep.
Yeah.
So it'll be an RBI double for Betts and Derek Shelton to the mound to come out and change pitchers. McGill, who hadn't pitched much over the last, oh heavens, 3 weeks.
A month.
And he did a nice job in the first inning and 2/3, but the leadoff walk was the beginning of his end, and the Red Sox had another run in the 8th. Download the app, take Fox Sports North and Twins baseball wherever you go. Red Sox opening it up here, and the hitting hero last night, Mookie Betts, adding an RBI double in the 8th inning. He also had one in the 4th inning. Nobody out. Taylor Rogers comes in to try to get the Twins off the field within striking distance at 7-4. '44th game for Rogers, facing the left-hand hitting Benintendi, then the righty Martinez, and then another lefty Mitch Moreland. Fastball, strike one. Being out hit 13-6. And now 2 strikes to Benintendi.
It's tough once they get to that bullpen. That bullpen has got a pretty good arms out there, and it makes it tough.
Another sellout here at Fenway Park. And an off-speed pitch, fouled off. Craig Kimbrell gave up a couple of runs to the Twins last night, warming up along with Joe Kelly. If the Red Sox had another run, it would not be a save situation. Then, not that it's much of a break. Kelly's pretty good too.
Yeah. Just throw 100. Mike still throws 100.
2 strikes. And now time called. And Rogers with a shake off. And now an 0-2 coming to Benintendi. Breaking ball got him, 1 down.
It's a good pitch. Benintendi hitting 222 against lefty. That was a really good pitch. The slider started off on the inside of the plate and ended up on the outside corner, down and away.
Those are nice pitches, aren't they, when they can strike you out both ways, either swinging or if you took it, it was a down and away. That's got to be a tough pitch to handle, right?
Yeah, that's a really good pitch.
Martinez will be intentionally walked. And now Moreland will bat with runners at first and second.
Yeah, he's definitely a double play candidate. And lefty on lefty, it works out. Great matchup.
RBI single his first time up, then a pop up and a couple of strikeouts for Moreland.
When Moreland was with Texas, he was a tough out. He used to hit the ball the other way and stayed on a lot of off speed and pulled that.
Anthony's a strike.
So I had a chance to talk to him today, and he had a knee injury. He said he feels good, but he said he could sit out and try to let it heal. Those guys are, got the best team in baseball. You can heal. He said he cannot do that.
Wants to play.
He wants to play.
Played 1-1.
Love to hear guys like that that said, hey, I got the mindset I want to play every day no matter what. But your finger's hanging off. Who cares?
Betts to third, swung on and missed, so there'll be no throw. We were talking about that before when Dozier took off for third base. And let's see, Grossman was at the plate, I believe.
Yeah.
And you said very early on you were counseled against doing that.
Yeah, I had I stole. It was 2 outs, 2 strikes on Paul Molitor, and I was at second base, just hit a double, and I took off, and Paul Molitor pulled me to the side and just said, "Hey, man, you know, if you're gonna go early in the count with 2 strikes. I'm trying to battle. If I see you running, you know, out of my peripheral vision, it'll shake me a little bit and make me more protective. And if I get a hit, I'm going to score anyway. So it's no use for you to steal." And it made sense to me. And it's something that I try to tell young guys: be careful with 2 strikes when the guy's hitting.
From any base, not just second base, right?
No, just second base.
Oh, okay.
Second base is the only one you can really see. From first base, me as a righty, I see it, but it doesn't matter.
Right. That's what I was thinking. From as a right-handed batter, you kind of look at that way, and you're going to see.
Yeah, I don't mind it at first base. I really don't mind at second, but I can see you more because I'm looking out to look at the pitcher to try to find that window.
Bogarts will be intentionally walked. So Rogers has been brought in here to apparently strike out the lefties and walk the righties.
Smart.
Second base was open, so now they are all loaded up with 2 down. And Devers will bat with the bases full.
These guys are up 3 runs. You walk the base, it makes it easy. You can go to any base. You get the force at home, third, second, first. You're done. You're good. Smart play. There you go, Derek Shell.
Devers, 2 hits, robbed of a hit his last time up by Polanco. Made a great play behind second base. Huge lead at third for Betts. Almost half the way to home plate.
I've never seen that. Well, I mean, I guess the shift, you know, it's kind of new. But look at that shift with Miguel Sano all the way at shortstop. He's starting to creep in now.
And that, you have to do that. We saw, you know, we've seen Eddie Rosario take a huge lead. Brian Dozier drew a balk with a similar shift. Now Rogers has got to throw strikes. It's 2-0.
And now he can get a hit because Sano's out of.
Right.
Yeah, not where he's supposed to be. The lefty's back is turned towards Mookie Betts. If he gets too far off, Mookie can get down the line. He can still home. If he gets too far down the line, and Miguel is doing a good job at holding him on.
Well, he missed the outside corner, and after intentionally walking 2 batters here in the 8th, Rogers may unintentionally walk another run in. A couple nights ago, Fernando Rodney came back from 3-0 with the bases loaded. The Red Sox have 9 grand slams this year. They didn't have any last year. There's a strike, 3-1. I mean, we're not even out of July, and they've already hit 9 grand slams.
These guys are well balanced, man. They got a little bit of power, speed, defense, pitching.
Devers has hit 2 of the grand slams.
They remind me of the Astros last year.
3-1. Strike 2. Rogers has come back with a couple of good fastballs to fill the count. And the bases are full, and there are 2 out.
He's definitely swinging no matter what. Everybody's going to be going. Third baseman goes as deep as the third base coach. Run around.
Foul back. And Rogers went right at him with a 94-mile-per-hour fastball.
And I was at a Little League game, and this same situation was up. The guy took off running down the line, and there was a foul ball hit and hit the guy right in the chest.
Oh.
So it's important that the guys at third has taken the lead at third goes as deep as the third base coach.
Betts is almost 45 feet from home plate.
He can steal home right now. Right now, he can steal home.
And Rogers steps off with Betts trying perhaps to draw a balk. But with Sano back where he was when this at bat started, he was closer to home plate than he was to third base.
He could have stole home. Seriously.
Full count to Devers. And a pop up that will reach the seats. Now Betts having a chat with Carlos Fabian. Now, if that was Eddie Rosario in the conversation with Gene Glenn, he'd say, "Hey, let me go. I want to steal home." No idea who called the little conference there. Sano's cheated toward the bag a little bit, but he's still a long ways away. And another 3-2 coming from Taylor Rogers. And he missed. And it's a 4-run lead. McGill charged with both the runs that have scored here in the 8th. A double by Betts is the only hit, the only ball put in play this inning. There have been 4 walks. And the bases are loaded now for Nunez. McGill gave up the opening walk and then the Betts RBI double. The 3 runners out there are now Rogers' responsibility. Left center field all the way to the gap. And it'll empty the bases. No, it won't. Holding at third.
We got a hamstring or something.
Is Devers, who gets into a crouch. He had home plate, but he pulled into third with some sort of an injury. And the Red Sox have opened up the game, and now concern here with Devers injuring himself between second and third.
There's a slider down and in. Kind of left it out over the plate, and Nunez put a good swing on it, put it in the left center gap. And as Devers was going around second base on his way to third, he pulled up lame. I don't know if it's his ankle or his hamstring.
It is muggy, and you hope for the possibility that it's just some dehydration and some cramping. He's off the field, or getting off on from the field, pretty much under his own power.
He's walking pretty good, because if he pulled anything, he'll be limping. He looks good. Maybe, hopefully, it's not anything too devastating.
Well, Nunez with another extra base hit, is third in the last 2 games. Here's Leone, 9th man to bat here in the 8th. Strike on the outside corner. Strike 2. Now 1-2. Red Sox getting a couple of runs against Moya. Excuse me, 1 run against Moya. McGill kind of held things in check until his leadoff walk here in this inning. The Red Sox have piled on 4 more runs. Twins bullpen was at a competitive disadvantage here tonight, with the probability of Rodney not being available. Presley traded yesterday. Twins are down to their last mound visit. They're going to use it here in the 8th inning. No mound visits left. I think it's the first time we've ever seen either the Twins or whoever they're playing without a mound visit left available to them.
This might be the first time I've seen it come into play.
There were 3 of them early when Odorizzi was in the ball game, particularly in the 4th inning. I think they used a couple of them when the Red Sox scored 3 runs. You can't carry them over. So if you didn't use them tonight, you can't use them tomorrow afternoon.
No carryovers.
No carryovers. This inning has kind of gotten away from the Twins as it is. Fouled back. 2 doubles, 4 walks.
So if he goes out and changes pitchers, that's
fine. Changing pitchers is fine. If Derek Shelton goes out, that doesn't count as a mound visit. Pace of this inning is just dragged on and on and on. One and 2. And that kicks away from Garver, but the runners will hold.
Looks as if the last couple pitches look like they've been crossed up. Garver caught a pitch like it was blocking the ball and he caught it in the air, and then that one looks pretty weird as well. Don't know if he's getting crossed up. See, he tried to catch it like that. Don't know if he thought it was a fastball instead of blocking it and leaning over it. Just
that ends an ugly inning. The Red Sox add 4 more and will take a 6-run lead to the 9th inning.
What do I know? I was the outfielder. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
We've had a couple of good ball games in this series. Twins won a 1-run ball game 2 nights ago. The Red Sox in 10 innings last night. This has been kind of a Fenway Park kind of game. We've seen a lot of balls hit off the high fences here.
Yeah.
I've seen the Red Sox get 10 runs. Joe Kelly will pitch. He's struggled as of late. His ERA is up near 5. Brock Holt is in at second base, and Nunez will move over to third. But this is the type of game you expect when you come to Fenway Park. The last two have been kind of unusual for this ballpark. The Red Sox, how many of their hits, their extra base hits, have been hit off either the green monster or the high wall in center field?
All those guys have been shopping at the gap, the left center gap.
Yeah. 1-0 to Miguel Sano, looking for his first hit since his recall. He's bounced out and struck out twice. The strikeouts, although unfortunate, they were, I thought at least, competitive at bats.
Yeah,
and he battled and kind of saw a lot of pitches and eventually struck out.
He does that all the time. I feel like he has a great plate awareness. I think just in the end, it's a slider that gets him.
Well, he fouled that pitch back, 1-2.
He wants that pitch back.
You can tell from the swing. He got a good look at it. He just didn't hit it. Sano, then Grossman and Garver. Upstairs. And 99 strikes him out, 1 down. So 3 strikeouts in succession for Sano, and that'll bring up Grossman.
99 miles an hour. The ball has some life to it.
Grossman's 0 for 3, reached on a Nunez error when he was playing second base back in the 4th inning. You know, in 97, still pretty good, 98, 99. But you know, when you started your career, if someone threw 94, that got your attention. Now everybody throws 94.
Not really. 93, 94. 93 was probably the average. Now they go 93.4 or whatever it may be. I thought 94, 95, I was cool with that.
At the beginning of your career?
Yeah, beginning of my career. It's with the guys like Jason Grimsley who's throwing 95 with sink. They were throwing 95 with sink and cut and tail and with movement. And they were going east and west. Now it's more north to south. When you go more north to south in the batter's box, these guys are throwing the higher fastball straight. So that's why they're hitting more 99, you know, to 97, because they have no manipulation on their balls. It's just late life for seniors.
2 strikes to Grossman. And that's strike 3, but it goes to the backstop and stays there. Grossman will reach on a strikeout.
That is 99, and he swung at it like it was a slider. How's he get hit? This is a fastball. He swung at it like it was a slider in the dirt.
Give the catcher a pass ball on that. At any rate, Grossman's aboard. Now Mitch Garver. It is a pass ball, allowing Grossman to reach on strike 3. 98 just outside.
See, not back in the day, because I'm not that old. I'm only like 23. But the pitches, that pitch right there, back in the day, Roger Clemens pitching, that's a strike.
Right. A little bit tighter, and that one hitting the corner, 1-1.
Right. It's more hitting that corner over the plate. Roger Clemens and all these other guys, their pitches could be 3 balls out, and that was a strike. You had to try to foul that off. But upstairs, it was more of a ball. Now upstairs is more of a strike, and the outside corner you don't really have to worry about.
Speed pitch up and in.
Or the inside corner.
We were wondering how teams are scoring against Kelly. Walks are a big part of it. 22 walks and 41 in 2/3 innings. Chopper, and that's going to be a tough play. Garver reaches on an infield hit. Grossman to second base. That'll bring up Jake Cave. Nunez playing at third base after the apparent leg injury to Devers. Now the Twins have a threat here after the strikeout and infield hit.
That's a fastball at the bottom of the zone, and Mitch Garver tops it and actually gets down the line pretty good for a catcher. Pretty good.
Yankees came back to beat the Royals in the second game of the doubleheader. So a doubleheader split for New York. And if the Red Sox win this game, they'll pick up another half game on the Yankees. Here's Jake Cave, singled and scored in the third. Lined out to Bogarts, who was shifted to the right side of second base, then hit a fly ball to center in the seventh. Strike one. Chopper towards second base on the bag, double play, game over. And the Red Sox and Twins have now split the first 6 games of the season series. Tom Haddam and Jake Odorizzi gave up 5 runs in his 5 innings worth of work, but the Twins were in it until the Red Sox blew it open against the Twins bullpen.